Rated M for M-Balm. This is the M-Balm Effect, your one-stop shop for unfiltered discussions.
Ladies and gentlemen, another episode of the M-Balm Effect, number 216. We are here live in studio in the ROC. I am your host, the M-Balm. Tonight, I am with none other than Nominee. How the hell are you, my man?
What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good. It's good to have you in studio. I know Bogart, he dipped out on us. He had some stuff going on, right?
New place.
New place.
Around, yeah. Yep.
He had some real life situations come up where he got taken out of the equation.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm sure that'll happen a couple times on the road here. But I'm glad I'm here, dude. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Just to chill with you and, you know.
Yeah, don't get too estranged from that microphone. You can grab it, you can fondle it.
Thought, like, my first thought was the headphones, and I didn't even think about it. I'm like, oh yeah, duh, the mic.
Yeah, the microphone.
But I like how yours is set up more because like mine comes over here and it's kind of like right here.
Yeah.
But this is better. Like I like being able to
adjust it, the boom arm.
Yeah, like higher. It's nice.
Yeah, let everyone know what podcasts are you on?
I am from the School of Martians podcast, which we are located in the Finger Lakes, kind of like Manchester, Shortsville, Canandaigua, Geneva, that area.
Yeah.
It's fun, man. I told you when we first met on our or on the show we did with Bogart.
Yeah.
I've only been podcasting for like, I think this might be 7 months now.
No shit.
Wait, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. No, 6 months, I guess.
Really?
I've only been in the game for 6 months.
6 months.
6 months. And like, I've learned a whole lot, dude. I'm like, I've always done social media stuff. So like just doing a podcast just felt appropriate.
Yeah.
Like in this day and age, you know, it's like what you have to do to, everyone's doing it. The celebrities are doing it. People that don't need one are doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So I hopped on here and I met you guys at our studio, and I've been a fan of this show ever since, and I'm glad that I'm on your show tonight.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've been doing this for 6 years. You know, we've had co-hosts come on and come off, and you know, Austin's the most loyal, longest reigning co-host. But nah, man, I like being able to do this like one-on-one too, because again, like with podcasting, the one thing I always say is like it forces you to put down the technology, the phones. It forces you to have a conversation, whether it be a funny one, a deep dive into some serious topics.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of things that we forget in everyday life just because work and technology. But like, this is where you can just let go, have a conversation, and like with this show, we do it live so that way other people can jump in on the conversation.
I love it.
And that's what I love about the interaction with the fans and all that. We, you know, have phone lines, 855-622-5619. You can call into the show, talk with us tonight.
Please call in.
But now, man, it's always a good time. And, you know, it was cool. I like being able to go on other people's podcasts and just like see their setup and whatnot. Like, it was cool going on your podcast because I got to see like how you have the studio set up, because you watch it and it's like, I wonder how they like I wonder where everything is and how they work, you know, how everything works.
Right.
But like, you doing it for 6-7 months or so, if you didn't tell me that, I wouldn't have even guessed, because you're pretty good at it. Yeah.
So like I've had a YouTube channel since like 2016. Got influenced by Roman Atwood, like serious, when he was doing his family vlogs. I was like, hey, I have kids too. Maybe I should start the vlog. I just kind of like, so I'm used to like talking to a camera pre-recorded. You know what I mean? Like I would make vlogs. I'd film me and my kids all day, show everyone what we're doing. We'd be at the zoo. We'd be at the park. It's just like what a vlog is. And so many people have told me just in the past few years, like, man, you need a podcast. They're like, you got music. You already have a YouTube channel, like on, you know, like on Facebook, you're funny. They're like, you should just have a podcast. And I was like, seriously, like, you know what? You're right. And I was trying to get all the stuff to do it and set up, researched it a little bit and realized, okay, maybe like I need some help. And that's where I met Bogart, and that's just history. We just threw it together and we're rolling. So
Yeah, he's been doing this for a long time too. I know he said he started
long.
2009, I think he had his first podcast.
yeah,
And that was like the beginning, like the inception of when podcasts started coming out, because like that was around the time era like where Joe Rogan was starting his podcast.
yep,
You know, and back then people didn't understand podcasts, myself included.
right.
You know, you're like, okay, what is it? You
Yeah.
know, and like it's I would say it's oversaturated at this point in time, but I think that people let that get to their head, and when they start, they give up. And then like there's no overnight success. They're like, well, I don't have 1 million followers overnight, so I'm just gonna quit.
I'm done.
Yeah. And that's where everyone goes wrong.
That's where 95% of the people fail.
Yeah.
They think, I'm going to make a TikTok tomorrow. I'm going to do a stupid TikTok dance. I'm going to go viral and I'm going to be getting sponsors.
Yeah.
And they just make one. They're like, wow, no one actually likes me. This sucks.
Instant gratification,
You know,
which doesn't exist, man.
Yeah.
The
you
real
know?
world says you need to work at it.
Yeah.
You know?
And yeah, like with the whole, you know, like just like starting a podcast, like out of nowhere, like I said, like I've been doing social media long enough, and I've, you know, made videos, you know, before all this, YouTube videos. I was doing like Facebook clips. I have like music out everywhere. SoundCloud, that makes me sound so dumb.
I know. Well, it
But,
makes you
like,
sound old because you're
Right,
like, I remember when
'cause that's where we
SoundCloud.
started.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we're like, wait, we can post these where people can go play them now.
Yeah.
Because before you were just emailing your,
Yeah.
you know, track out to whoever. And then once we finally got our own like MP3 player on a website, we're like, wow, this is cool. But like, I'm on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, all that stuff,
Hell
YouTube.
yeah.
But it just kind of came from all that where I'm like, man, I've been doing this. You're right. It does make sense to have a podcast. And here we are. I met you.
Yeah.
I met Dash, and I've been following you guys since that episode we did, and I became huge fans of the show. Like you were saying, it was cool to come to our studio to see how we were set up. As soon as I walked in here, I was like, that's how they're doing that.
Yeah.
Because I watch the show every Saturday when you guys go live. And, you know, and I'm like, man, that's cool in there. But, you know, coming into your home, which thank you, welcoming me into your home.
Of course,
first of all. And then, you know, coming down here and just like seeing what you got, like set up. It's a dope area, man. It's sweet. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks. Yeah, dude, it's always cool because like, you know, you come in and it's nice to have a place where you can just feel comfortable, you can be yourself, and the aesthetics in here are here for a reason. I want it to feel like comfortable. You
Yeah.
know, I love lights. I love colored lights. Like as you can tell, I'm a sucker
yeah.
for lights, man.
Yeah.
My son is too. That's one of his favorite words is light.
Lights.
Loves it.
That's awesome.
Can't get enough of lights. He loves lights.
Lights.
But like,
That's awesome.
yeah, dude. And then, you know, it's just cool because like Insensitive Culture, I was on their show a couple of years back now. I think it was like 2 years ago. And just their setup and how like Joaquin and all them do that. Like I thought that was so cool to walk into their studio, see how everything's set up, look at the set and go, okay, that makes like it's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
they have a pretty legitimate studio too, and you know I know the other co-hosts had moved, but they still do the show, and it's still a good show, and you know Joaquin knows what he's doing, man. He's
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So, but it's cool to see like podcasting become something here in Rochester. There's a whole bunch of different scenes out there, but I think the podcasting scene really hasn't hit it off here like any other scene.
Yeah.
Like I've been involved in the photography scene. There's a lot of photographers out there. You know, they're all sharing their stuff.
Yep.
The music scene's popping off, whether it be metal or whatever the case may be. They have a lot of good stuff going on there. But like the podcasting scene, there's not many people doing it here anymore.
Yeah.
Like if you look up old podcasts from, I don't know, years ago from Rochester, you see that they're defunct now. They don't exist.
Yeah.
Like if you go to rockwicca.com, you'll see that there was other podcasts that existed at one point in time, but they're gone.
Yeah.
You know, but and here's one cool thing about the live thing is that we actually have a caller in right now. Annalise, you're on with us live here. How are you?
Oh shit. I'm good.
Yeah, you're doing good over there in the NYC.
Boom.
Boom. So, Annalise, I got to ask you something. We talked to you one time.
No.
Yeah, I have to. It's my destiny. It is my job. And if I do not do it, I must go unalive myself right now. So I have to do it
Don't
now.
you dare say that.
It's my
I'm
dark
not
humor.
to blame for this shit.
Annalise, it's my dark humor. I'm sorry. That's what I do as a dark comic. So you talked to
Again,
us while you were on a
no matter
subway.
who's in studio, it's always chaos.
I know. But here's the thing. Like, you talked to us when you were on a subway, and I watched a video of a man laying down, taking a leak all over the subway. Were you on that train when it was happening?
When?
Mm.
Ew.
Yeah. I don't know. The guy was
Ew.
laying sideways on the seat, and he was just letting it loose.
I don't want to know.
Damn.
He was probably pissed drunk. You know what I'm saying, Justin? He was pissed drunk, and he just had to,
He was
had to go.
pissed drunk.
Yeah, he had to go.
He just had to piss.
Yeah, he had to go.
Right there.
And I kind of talked about it on a little video clip that I uploaded earlier this week. And yeah, I thought about it. I was like, oh man, I hope Annalise was not on that subway when it was going down.
I mean, I see some weird shit.
I bet. New York City is a place where you go and you expect the most wildest shit in the world to happen to you or around you when you're there.
That's true.
I mean, let's just say New York City is one of those places where you either love it, hate it.
Yeah.
I'm in between.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, because Rochester has its
Why?
fair share of crazy shit. And
Oh,
I'd
please.
be lying if I said that this place was an angel compared to NYC. It's not.
No.
Anything is. I mean, I've experienced ROC, but I need more.
Well, if you come here, don't come here in a Kia, because they might take your Kia, and
They will.
And not
Can I
only
take your Kia?
they're gonna
Your
take your
Kia?
Kia, their Hyundais. They'll go joyriding somewhere. They might crash into a building, steal some money, some goods.
And the crazy thing, it'll be like a 12-year-old.
I know, it's not even like a 35-year-old man.
It's always a kid.
Yeah, it's always a kid, a child, a newborn, just born right out of the womb, stealing your fucking Kia.
Kia boy is born, ready to go.
Gun in hand, keys in the other. No, I'm sorry, USB cord in the other. There's no umbilical cord, Justin. They just give them the USB
They
cord
said
now.
USBs.
Yeah.
And
Plug them in, and they go right under the dash and just, you know. But that's the way they do it here in the ROC, baby. But Annalise, I don't think you'd have to worry about that. I mean, I don't think you have a Kia or a Hyundai that they can steal.
I don't have a car, period.
Well, that's what I mean. You have to go on the subway, which, to be honest with you, you're doing the right thing, because I heard that driving down in New York City is pretty bad experience. You don't want to be down there with a car.
no.
No. Parking sucks ass.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
I made that mistake driving into New York City with my own car.
Yeah.
I
Never
think
again.
this book does have its moments where I'm just
Well,
every day.
I look at it this way.
But that's
Everywhere you go, you're going to have your moments. And,
yeah.
you know, whether it be on the subway with a guy taking a leak or smoking meth, or you're on Westridge Road with a guy, or you're on Westridge Road in Rochester with a guy holding a cardboard sign trying to stab you, you're going to run into some crazy adversity no matter where you are.
No shit.
Yeah. So
I mean, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
that's
but,
right. Hey, by the way, I got to say, nuts out for Peanut. I got the shirt on right now. Nuts out for Peanut.
Yeah.
Let's go.
In memory of Peanut the squirrel, R.I.P. Rest in
Peanuts
power.
November.
Justice for Peanut.
Rested peanuts.
Yeah, rest in peanuts. And don't forget Fred the raccoon, because I think people kind of forget that Fred Raccoon got
That's true.
executed in front of the children, in front of the family. They beheaded these animals to check for rabies. They found none.
It's crazy, man.
It is crazy.
It's crazy.
That's fucked up.
It is. It's very screwed up. You know. You look at it like this. If you become an animal, like I'm not an animal. I'd say there's times where you want to rage, right? You road rage or
For
something,
sure.
but you don't want to become an animal.
No.
You don't want to become especially in New York State. You don't want to become an animal.
Yeah.
They might take you in front of your kids and in front of your wife, and they might just shoot you execution style and cut your head off in front of little
true.
Jimmy. You don't want that.
Yeah. You don't want to be a raccoon
No.
that's like, facing a species moment.
No.
Like, oh, that's a raccoon, shoot it.
Well, Chris Benoit, the professional wrestler that killed his family and then himself, he realized how much of an animal he was because he lived up to the rabid Wolverine moniker that he was going by.
That's
and
true.
he realized that if he just kept on going that way, the DEC was going to take him and kill him in front of his family. So he said, before I do that, I'm going to just off them and then myself.
Yeah.
You can check me for rabies later.
Damn, the Wolverine was rabid.
Yeah. But
that's crazy that you put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I guess I never really thought of that situation like that.
Yeah.
So now we have to.
Yeah, I have to.
Now we have to look at it that way.
Got to
as,
look
like,
at it like that.
Animals are that way.
They are that way.
It's crazy. It's like Zootopia.
That was
you ever
the
seen that
little
movie?
one, by the way.
Yeah. What's that?
How is Harrison?
Oh, he's doing well. He's doing baby things, you know what I'm saying? Like babies have a life. And, whether you believe it or not, they do their own thing, They have not like a 9-to-5 job or anything like that, but they have a life,
Yeah.
You might not understand it or anything. I might not understand it, but during the middle of the night, they have the nightlife. I'm sure he climbs out of the crib, has a Uber take him out to the bar. He probably hangs out with his baby friends. You know what I'm saying?
A goober takes him out
Yeah,
to
a
the bar.
goober. Yep.
Goobers.
Yep. He says, "Hey, bitch, you want to come back to my crib?" It's like, hell yeah. You wake up the next morning, there's 2 babies in the fucking crib. You're like, wait a minute, hold on
You're
a
like,
second.
where'd this come from?
Yeah, dude, how'd this even happen?
You're like, babe, did we adopt? Like, what happened?
Did you spit one out last night and I didn't notice? Like, what's going on? It wasn't mine, was it? Like, what the hell's going on?
Fucking awesome.
That'd be some crazy shit. Annalise, thank you for calling in. We love hearing from you. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Honestly, I missed the Dash Man, but I understand completely, but it's always chaos.
Well, Annalise, the reason why Austin's not here is because he's the Dash Man. So what he does, he likes to smash the gash and dash. And that right now, he's busy smashing the gash, and he dashed out on us.
Make fun of him, why don't you?
Yeah, well,
Way to call him out, bro.
yeah. It's okay. We won't hold him
Wait,
against him.
smash the dash sounds kind of kinky.
Mm-hmm.
He's out whore dashing.
Yeah, he's whore dashing. Whore dash.
Poor Dash.
Whore dash.
Delivery.
Yep.
Shout out Dash, man. When you watch this episode, I love you, man. I wish you were here.
He's driving for Lyft.
Yeah.
Lift that booty and turn sideways. Sam. But hey, he's got to do what he's got to do, Justin.
I can't with you.
He is a.
It's always chaos, no matter what.
It's a good thing he's not a squirrel.
No, they would.
That's the best
take
thing
him out back.
for him right now. He's not a squirrel. He's not a raccoon.
Yeah,
So,
they'd take him out back.
yeah.
They look at him and go, "No, gotta put an end to you."
Nuts.
It is peanuts. Nuts out for peanut.
Nuts out for peanut.
Nuts out for peanut.
Instead of no nut November, it's peanut November.
That's right. That's right.
Hell yeah.
Peanut November. Well.
But I just wanted to do my daily shtick.
Yeah, and we always enjoy it because that's why we had the phone line so we can talk to you. But stick around. We'll dive into some things. We have some more things we're gonna dive into, of course.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait to talk about some crazy things that happened last night.
What was her name? Annalise.
Annalise,
thanks for calling in.
So last night was historical. I'm not gonna downplay this. It was historical.
It was.
You watched it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep. I
Watched
was
the whole
at
thing.
my sister's. We watched it. And I gotta say, my favorite fight out of the whole night was Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano.
Yep.
That was that right there should have and could have been the main event.
That was so. Yeah, that was a crazy match, and to be honest, I thought they were gonna call it a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Because Serrano that gash in her eye was insane.
Yeah.
And every time it zoomed in on her eye, I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Man, that's great." And she just kept coming, dude.
Yeah, dude.
She was just rocking her.
I know.
And to be honest, I almost thought that maybe she could have took that match, in my opinion. But you know, I'm not a pro expert in like boxing points or how the, you know, boxers are, you know, judge and score points by. But I think she did a hell of a good job, especially being in the condition she was in.
Yeah, dude, that eyebrow. Look at this photo right here where they're kind of hugging it out after the match. With every move, with every dip, with every swing, or with every jab, that thing was flapping around. Her eyebrow was flapping around. And they asked her, like, are we going to call this thing? She said, no, we're going to keep fighting.
She just kept going.
And if anybody out there is still under the guise that women's sports is taking a back seat to men's and doesn't hold a candle, you are fucking devastatingly wrong. Because
That's true. That's a fact.
this fight here, I think, should have and most definitely did prove those people wrong.
Yeah.
And when like you go back and you remember all the fights that happened last night, I think it was only 4 fights. This one here stands out the most.
For sure. Like because when it got to Tyson and Paul, it kind of went to this weird, like, okay, what are they doing?
Yeah.
And it kind of was like, is something going to happen? Like, you know, there was like a buildup that didn't end up exploding.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like stagnant the whole time. And that fight was back and forth. It was back and it was just so action packed that it was like, I was on the edge of my seat, like during that match.
Yeah.
And, you know, just the way she kept like hugging Serrano and kind of resetting and headbutting, you know, it was more, there was way more, as much as like Tyson and Paul said there was all this tension in the air, it didn't really show in the ring.
Mm.
That match showed that they meant business and they were going to settle it right now.
Yeah, 100%.
It was amazing. And like you said, if people are saying that women's sports is not, you know, outdoing men's right now, they are crazy because look at the WNBA.
Yeah.
It's like the most sales they've ever had in like history this year with the draft they just had.
Yeah.
You know, with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and all them or whatever. And now seeing it in boxing, and I'm sure it'll come back in soccer this year that, you know, the women's soccer will be insanely great. Or I don't know. I just have a good feeling that women's sports is definitely taking over right now.
Yeah, 100%. And like that match right there with Serrano and Taylor, I mean, you could see the passion, you could feel that tension. They both wanted the victory. And, you know, with that all being said, after the end there, you could tell that there was some, I wouldn't say animosity, but there were some opinions from Serrano's side about the headbutt.
Yeah.
You know, and how there's a, I guess, consistency with each fight from Katie Taylor, which
With
to be
her
honest,
doing that.
yeah, I mean, look, you know, can you prove it? I don't know if you can prove it.
Yeah, like if you can bring clips up and show like a highlight reel of her headbutts, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's up to the internet to go back and make a montage of her headbutting. I'm sure somebody will just because it was announced.
Yeah.
But I actually like how her trainer spoke up and said that on live TV and said, you know, she's got this thing where she always does this, and we knew we had to. So I actually like that Serrano's trainer actually brought that up and addressed it to the whole building pretty much.
Yeah.
I've never seen that happen before either with boxing.
No.
He was pissed. You could tell she was pissed because
Yeah.
I think she thought too when, you know, when they're standing there with their arms, you know, the ref holding their arms, I thought she thought they were going to put her arm up.
100%.
And I was like thinking, I'm like, dude, I think she stuck it out. I think she actually could have won. And
She should have won. I think she should have won. Just that fight alone, when you look at the end of that fight, and you can tell, like, Katie's kind of like, she's kind of leaning into her, trying to, like, you know, catch her breath, trying to catch,
yeah,
you know, she's
100%.
She was definitely gassed at the end.
Yeah.
Whereas Serrano was still coming up with the offenses.
Full force. She was bob. And
Yeah.
There's no, like, I was telling someone else this today, there's no way, or maybe it was last night, because I was in an Xbox Live party. We had an Xbox Live party watching the fight last night.
That's awesome.
It was cool as fuck. I think it was last night we're talking about how, dude, there's no way she can see good right now.
No.
And she's still coming out guns a-blazing, just poof, poof, poof. Like, it was insane.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, I'm like, dude, she literally has one eye vision right now.
Yeah.
100% she can't see out of that eye. And if she can, it's very vivid that she has like a squint and she's like, you know, It's like she's wearing an eye patch at this point and still boxing.
Yeah,
You
one
know?
eye. She's literally fighting with one eye.
Yeah.
It's got to be stinging. It's got to be everything in between. Just and you know that like I'm sure the flapping of her eyebrow would I'm sure it bothered her, dude.
Dude,
Just knowing that
I'm sure she could feel it. And I saw they kept, putting gauze inside it, and they're trying to numb it. At one point, they're putting like a big glob of Neosporin on it to stop it from bleeding. But that didn't help and then I felt like she just kept aiming for that eyebrow.
Oh yeah, she was going right for it.
She was going right for it. And like you said, towards the end there, where she was, kind of hugging, like trying to get a breath. I feel like there's a time in that match, like maybe like the second or last round, there was like 15 seconds where I'm like, she's gonna fall over.
Yeah.
Like I thought she was dizzy, like because she was just kind of like hugging
Wobbling.
like this at a point, and I'm like, dude, she's gonna knock her out with one eye.
Yeah.
I was like, no fucking way.
But she's got that knockout record too.
Yeah.
And you look at that
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, that's the favorite.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. That whole match, I'm like, okay, she should have won. And then when they did the decision, I'm like, really? That's who you're going to side with?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody had said something along the lines of if the challenger doesn't wow the judges as much in the match, even though she's got more strikes landed and all that, or he has more strikes landed, whoever's fighting, they always tend to side with the champion for whatever reason.
Right.
I think she should have won.
I think she should have won too. Like that's and like whoever can have their own opinion, but I think that should have went to Serrano for sure.
For sure. She's earned it.
She's a monster, man.
Yeah, she's a machine.
You know what we pointed out actually too?
What's that?
Because me and my friends, like, we're just like, oh, I want his boots. Like we're on Xbox Live, just being children.
Yeah.
And what's his name there? Barrios.
Yeah.
He had like the pink on, and his boots were so sick.
Fucking
Pink,
Mario,
black, and
dude.
white. His boots were sick. Like his outfit was sick, but his boots just made his whole outfit go.
Yeah.
And we kept talking about it. So when Serrano and them came out, we're looking at their feet. I'm like, dude, she's got Jordan 11 boots on.
She did.
Then I'm like, wait a minute. She's wearing sneakers. Those aren't Jordan 11 boots. She's actually just wearing sneakers in the ring right now.
It wasn't boots?
I don't think they were boots because
Holy shit.
because I have Jordan 11s, the same exact pair.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I have those shoes. I don't think she's wearing boots.
Really?
I'm like, that's what I look like when I'm kicking someone's ass.
I didn't realize that, dude.
Yeah, like I was so pumped. I'm like, dude, she's literally wearing sneakers right now.
You gonna get in there with Mike Tyson next?
I mean, hey, if he's gonna fight like that, I might as well. And he can take 40 mil, and I'll take 20 mil. I'm, whatever he wants to do.
People are out there saying it was rigged. It was scripted. I actually probably have a hot take here. I don't think it was rigged or scripted at all.
Me neither.
I think that's
don't
what
at all.
I think everybody overhyped it to be something more than it was, and what you saw was exactly what we were going to get.
Yeah.
You have a guy who's 58 years old, hasn't been in a match since 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and granted he trained pretty hard to get in there.
Yeah.
And you have a guy like Jake Paul who's 27 years old. He's been in more fights more recently.
He's in shape.
He is.
Perfect shape.
And people
He's
thought that he
big.
gained, that he bulked up, that he was going to get gassed or anything like that. I didn't see that.
I didn't see that though.
But-
I didn't see that either.
But I honestly I'm not surprised at what we got. I think we did overhype it to the point we thought that it was going to be more action-packed than it was.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was, to be honest with you, it was exactly what I believed it was going to be. Just slow, methodical, and not as much as you thought.
Yeah.
Like, you watch that match compared to, like, Serrano's match.
Yeah.
It's night and day.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to
Totally.
pay, if I had to choose between each fight, and
Yeah.
and if I had to pay to see either one,
Yeah.
I'm going with Serrano.
Yeah.
I'm going with Taylor.
For sure.
That Jake Paul, Mike Tyson match, I'm like, really? This is what we got?
Yeah. That's
So-
exactly what I was saying earlier. Like, it was just so, like, stagnant. Like, we just went from being on the edge of our seats, kind of like anxiety, like going through our bodies, like, this fight's insane, to just like,
Oh.
what are they doing?
The energy was definitely, you could tell the energy shifted
Yeah.
in the first few
100%.
rounds. And
100%.
Mike Tyson, did you hear that announcer? I don't like the way his legs look like now.
Yeah.
It's like those
Yeah.
announcers like killed me.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And like, wasn't like Roy Jones Jr. commentating too for a little
Mauro
bit?
Ranallo, and then he was on there. Yeah, dude, I don't know.
As soon as I saw Roy Jones Jr., I was like, can't be touched, can't be stopped. Like, that's like whenever like I see anything like Roy Jones, like his song just pops in my head.
Yeah.
Because I think it's so dope that he made that song. It's just cool as hell.
Yeah. So, Mike Tyson, of course he was going to show his age.
Oh,
You don't beat Father Time.
no.
You just don't. And Jake Paul, if you ask me, I think he did I think he held back.
He did.
I think he could have totally.
He said today in an interview that he did, and people were like, "Oh, blah, blah," and
It's rigged. Oh.
so I woke up this morning, right? I was rooting for Mike,
Mhm.
right? Of course, we all want Iron Mike,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
Our age group was rooting for Mike,
Of course,
right?
yeah.
And I woke up this morning thinking, what did we expect?
Right.
Like, what did we expect? Almost 60-year-old Tyson fighting a perfectly in shape warrior.
Yeah.
Because Jake Paul, I don't care what people say about Jake Paul came from Disney, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter to me. Like, he got in the ring, he started boxing, and he's been knocking motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
So to me, like, in my book, he's like solidified.
Yeah.
Like, he's proved his point. Okay, maybe he is like targeting, Silva and like Mike Perry and all these guys that he's fought before, but he's knocked them out, right?
Yeah.
And that's like, all right, so let's go this way with it. Imagine being Kobe Bryant coming into the NBA at a very young age.
Yeah.
Jordan's still in the league. You get that game where it's Lakers versus Bulls and Kobe Bryant's playing Jordan. Kobe Bryant's not going to be like, this is the game he wants to play the most because that's his idol.
Right.
He wants to go against him and show him that he's got skill too. Basically, to me, that's kind of what I'm getting from like Jake Paul trying to prove his point in the league a little bit.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, I'm just going to knock out everyone that think is a monster and show them that I'm not to fuck with. And then whoever is in my age bracket and my weight now, let's go, because you've seen what I can do. And
Yeah.
I prove that's just what I think about it. That's just my point of view. I'm not a huge Jake Paul fan or anything like that. I like Jake Paul. I like at the end how he saluted the country.
Yeah.
And shout out to all the farmers and police and
That was cool.
That was, I mean, you could tell who he voted for.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
But when he said that, and then when he, when he like paid his dues to Tyson at the end, he put his head out like, dude, just hit me
Yeah.
or like whatever. And then he kind of, just gave him that nod like,
Yeah.
you're the GOAT, man. I can't believe this just happened.
I think that was a mistake. That was a big mistake because if he was doing that with Tyson 30 years ago, he would have been knocked the fuck out.
I don't think anybody 30 years ago would want their head to
No.
be stuck out like a turtle in front of Mike
You know,
Tyson.
Mike
Yeah.
he was thinking about it.
He was just sitting there like
He was
"Man,
still like
there's-
in guard mode. He was like ready
There's
to go.
4 seconds on the clock. Do I hit this kid real quick or do I just? And I was thinking, I'm like, he could have just won.
He could have
He could have just
knocked him the fuck
boom,
out.
and then it didn't matter how many points were scored or how many
No,
punches
he
landed.
wins.
He's knocked out, and he gave him that chance. And
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's like the bravest shit I ever seen.
I gotta say he has balls. Like Jake Paul.
I would not
No, you
put
don't-
my
No.
even a 60-year-old
No.
Tyson. I'm not sticking my head out like, hey man, free
No.
shot.
No, he
We've
could-
seen Mike. We know what he does.
Oh yeah, and he's fast.
And-
He may be slower at his age, but he's still fast.
Dude, I watched his Instagram videos through this whole hype of this whole fight, and I'm like, dude, I don't think Jake Paul knows what he's getting into.
Yeah.
Like, I think Jake Paul's fucked. But like either way, I was like, it's cool because it's gonna be for like the old generation and all these kids that grew up watching Jake Paul from where he was to where he is now. I mean, Jake Paul's got all the kids.
Yeah.
All the kids like him because they saw him go from Disney to YouTube. Now he's a pro fighter. So it's more of like a bonding thing. Like for me last night, it was a bonding thing.
Yeah.
My son, he's 8 years old. He loves Jake Paul, but he knows him from YouTube.
Yep.
He's like, Dad, I really want to watch the fight tonight because Jake Paul's on there. I'm like, great, son. We're going to watch the fight together. I'm like, I'm in an Xbox Live party. You're going to hear some stuff you shouldn't hear, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And he watched the fight with me, and I'm like, see, this is so cool because I'm over here rooting for Mike. He's over here rooting for Jake. And it was cool. So then I bet that happened a lot around the United States,
Yeah.
around the world.
Yeah.
People seeing, Jake, and it just made like parents and kids kind of, this is a fight for everybody.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. It was cool.
It's been a while since I've actually watched some fights like that, and it's actually sparked my interest again. Because like UFC and all that, a lot of the guys I used to watch, they're kind of gone. Like tonight, there's John Jones. He's facing
I love John
Stipe,
Jones, dude.
and John Jones is from here. You gotta love him no matter what.
Yeah, Bones, man,
He's
that's
from
my
the
guy.
RFC, yeah.
That's my guy.
But I think Bones is gonna win that one.
I hope he does.
I hope so too.
I mean,
I like Stipe, but
no. I like Stipe too, but I do just if like John Jones in the conversation, I'm going with him.
Yeah.
But it's so cool that he's from here. Do you know what part of Rochester he's actually from?
I don't.
Do we know that?
I don't.
I've heard it my whole life, and like I've like looked into it, and I'm like, oh, he's from Rochester. I didn't know like what part of Rochester he grew up in, though.
Yeah.
Whether it be east, west, or a suburb, like, there, whatever.
Like China from the WWE, she was from Pittsford.
Yep.
So we know that, but like John Jones, yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
Dude, it's great. Like, I just actually found, I've never known this. A kid at work, we were talking about the Goo Goo Dolls. They came on the radio, we're working.
Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Really? Yeah.
I swear to God, until 2024, I never knew that.
No shit.
And I was like, no. I'm like, Goo Goo Dolls are not from Buffalo. He's like, dude, they have a recording studio in Buffalo. Like, you can, like, actually schedule recording time there.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on. So, day and age, Google. I'm like, no shit.
Yeah.
It's just cool when you just, you just know that people are from here. It kind of makes you look at them a little more like, man, I'm glad that they're like from here and they're where they are now.
Davey Havoc, AFI, from here.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yep, from Rochester.
That's fucking sweet.
See, we got some badasses coming out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've got some people coming out of here. Bogart's on with us. Says, yo, what's up, man? How the hell are you? Moving and grooving over there with your new home?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's getting some real life shit going on there, man. Moving's a bitch sometimes, I tell you.
I know.
It's not fun.
Dude, I wish I could have helped him, honestly, because I was supposed to help him this week.
But you said, fuck you, I'm going on the show.
like Tuesday, Wednesday this week, dude, I just like got this like sinus cold out of nowhere. It kicked my ass for like 2 days. And I was like, dude, I don't know, man. I'm just not. But like, it was weird. It was like a 2-day thing. And then I was back to normal.
Back to normal.
It was just weird. I think it's just from, hot, cold. But also, so at our job, we moved, like, we have a new warehouse. They just built a whole new warehouse. There's dust everywhere. There's drywall everywhere. I think that kind of messed me up a little bit, too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Tons of dust, and it was just flying up everywhere. And I was, like, every day I got to work, I was, like, wiping my glasses off.
Oh.
Like, there was just, like, a film over my glasses, and I could tell. Because when I got in my car and I'm driving, I'm like,
Ugh.
I'm not that old yet. What the fuck is going on? And I take my glasses off. I'm like, wow. So
that's what it's like to have cataracts.
that's, man,
Not good.
wearing glasses or contacts sucks. I wore contacts for a long time. Realized that I just will never take them out before I go to sleep.
So then you're like, screw it.
I just stopped wearing them, got glasses, and I've just been a glasses guy since.
Yeah.
Because I can do this before bed. Whoop,
Take them off.
boom.
Done.
Nightstand.
Yeah.
Go to bed. Or, sit in the mirror like touching your eye, like finger fucking your eye.
Yeah, that's what
And then
what would bother me,
dude. It's like putting them in isn't bad because you just got to get it in there and just blink around a little bit, get it in there. Taking it out's the worst because you don't want it to fold, you don't want it to crinkle. You got to put it in the solution. I don't know. It's just I tried for a while. I just can't do it.
Yeah, if I was to wear glasses or have to do contacts, I think the contacts would freak me out a little bit just because of what you just mentioned.
Yep.
And I don't know if I'd have the patience to deal with all that shit.
Yeah. It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
It sucks. But salute to everyone that has great vision. Because I envy you.
Hey, I mean, I'm sure at some point I'll need reading glasses or something like that, but I'm 33 and I still got vision, so I'm thankful.
Yeah.
But I'm okay. Annalise says, have a great night, M-Balm. Always love talking to you. Love you all so much. And then she says, glasses are a pain, though, too. Well, they can be. I can understand that. Even sunglasses can be a pain in the ass, but...
They are a pain, like certain things where because sometimes you just want to take a nap or you want to lay down somewhere, like on the couch or something. And you lay down on the couch, your hands on the frame of your glasses, and you're like, okay. But sometimes you're so tired, I don't want to take my glasses off either. so many things. Like I play basketball too.
Yeah.
And like I can't play basketball without glasses on because I have to have my vision, right? So I have an old pair that I wear that's probably not even what my recent exam is like prescribed to, but I wear them because I don't want to mess my good glasses up. And it's actually happened before where I'm playing basketball. Someone goes to take the ball from me. They swipe like my glasses flew across the court. And I'm like, you're lucky those weren't my good ones.
Yeah, because
because glasses aren't cheap either.
No, God no.
And it's like, so I just salute anyone that has good vision, man.
Dude, I can see that being a pain in the ass just because like if you get bumped or somebody just swipes and just knocks them off.
It gets annoying. And then like I'll set them somewhere in the house like randomly and then I wake up in the morning like where the fuck, and then it's like a whole thing getting ready for work, and then I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna be late for work because I'm looking for my glasses.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of dumb things that you don't think about until it actually happens.
Until it happens.
You're like, fuck glasses. But
yeah. Dude, did you see that I don't know if it was supposed to happen, but like during the whole Netflix thing and Mike Tyson was doing the interview and he walked away. Did you see his ass?
yes.
What was that?
He was wearing like the cowboy killers.
What was
dude.
that?
Or like what are those called? Like I know the pants, like
Chaps.
Chaps. Yeah.
Look at this shit. Look. What is that on Netflix? People had to see this.
Like that's just,
I like how whoever had this censored. They censored out his ass crack.
that's just an old ass.
Like he's in. I don't give a fuck.
That ass has never been kicked.
No,
You know?
you're not. A lot of people have tried, and a lot of people have failed.
That's an old ass, but it's never been actually kicked.
I don't really think that Jake Paul physically dominated Tyson in that match. I think he could
I don't
have.
think so either.
I'm sure at some point he might have been able to, but I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I think that match was exactly what I said it was. Just exactly what it was going to be.
I think it was great. I mean, I couldn't wait for it as soon as they announced it. What, last year this was announced?
I think it was March of this year.
Was it March?
I think it was March of this year.
I'm so shot. I just think everything's like a year ago, but
Trust me, I understand. I'm still trying to process shit that happened 10 years ago.
Yeah,
and we're in 2024, going on 2025, and my mind is like, this is 2015, right? I mean, 2015 was a couple of years ago. No, it's like almost 10 years ago now.
it's I thought the fight went exactly how it was gonna go. Like I said before, I'm not like pushing Jake Paul saying he's one of the greatest fighters, but
No, but
he's good
I think he's earning
good.
I think he's earning his licks. I think he's definitely
sure.
paying his dues.
for sure.
And
is.
Regardless of what your thoughts are on him or whatnot, I think he's just, people are like, what's he gonna do now? Dig up Muhammad Ali's corpse and fight him? It's like, dude, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, like, he's still getting in the ring.
I saw a meme today where it was like
Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, the Jake Paul. What was it? You that posted it?
I might have shared. I don't remember. Did I share it?
I'm not sure who shared it. I just like scrolled real quick and saw him. Like, that's funny. He looks so old too. It was like the worst picture possible they could have put up of Jimmy Carter.
I know. Eric's on here with us. Says, "Hey everyone, running a little late today. So are we. I don't know. I'm not noticing it too much now with these monitors on, but like my left ear felt like it was plugged, and it's like the sound of muffled and shit. And I'm like, okay, so for the most of the day,
Like
I've been
underwater.
Yeah.
Kinda like it's so weird.
Yeah. So like I've been trying to flush it out and all that. So I was like, fuck it, I gotta go to urgent care.
That's happened to me before. It's not good.
No, but like I went there and they're like, yeah, nothing's there. They're just like, yeah, it's probably inflamed. I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking great. They asked me, the doctor over there was like, so have you been in water lately? I go, other than showers, no.
Yeah.
I take my cold shower in the morning, go to the gym, take a hot shower afterwards.
Ooh, you take a cold shower in the morning?
Yeah, dude, it's
Like a cold shower or
put
like
that bitch
lukewarm?
out. No,
Really?
no hot water at all. Just the fucking full cold
No shit.
all the way down. If you do the temperature like in
shit,
the middle
dude.
of winter, it's like 43 degrees. But
That's like, dude, that's like plunging, man.
that's what that's exactly
That's
why
cool.
it's cold
That's-
water therapy, man.
I know a lot of people that are into that, and I'm just always that guy that's like, so in the summer when I'm, done like push mowing my lawn, because I sold my rider to get a push mower to get more exercise. I just thought that was the right move.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
But it sucks because I come back inside and I'm literally about to fall over.
Yeah.
I do take a cold shower, but that's the only time that I can do it is when it's like like 96 degrees and my body temperature, and I'm just covered in sweat. It's the only time I can do it.
Dude, I do it when it's
Waking up right off the rip and getting the dude. That's
5:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Get in there, even though it's like 40 degrees outside. You can feel it. You can feel it in the morning. You know, the cold air.
oh yeah,
Even though you got the heater on, doesn't matter if you have the furnace on or
yeah.
not. You can
you
feel it.
feel your house. You're like, ooh, it's got to be cold outside,
You just turn that bitch on
Yep.
and you just force yourself in there.
dude.
You
That
suffer.
bro, I salute you, man.
You
That's,
suffer.
I couldn't, but that's cool, man. I know a lot of people that do that. That's
So
your thing.
for a little bit, I took some time off of it in the summertime, and I noticed some differences, even like in my lifts and all that. I'm like, it's not the same. And so
Does it help you like mentally?
Oh, yeah.
when you do the cold thing.
Yeah, you do get the dopamine levels. It helps kind of like ease your joints, so that way they're not getting as fucked up when you're lifting and all that. I've noticed it because like my wrist was kind of messed up for a little while, and then as soon as I got back into the rhythm of getting back into the cold showers and all that,
Right.
it started to clear up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is what I need. Plus, it helps with like depression and all that, especially because if you have seasonal depression, like I do, it definitely helps.
Dang, I might, dude. I'm in the same boat. That seasonal depression stuff. Maybe I'll have to try. See. So, what's the podcast? They get in the ice tubs.
Oh, I was gonna say cold ones, but that's not it.
Cold as balls.
Cold as balls.
with like Kevin Hart and shit.
Yeah.
So I've watched a ton of those episodes, and like I've seen other guys, like some guys come in, they get right in because they're usually like an athlete that's kind of used to ice bath, like ice bathing. Then he gets like an actor, like a comedian comes in, and they're just kind of sitting on the edge, like and he's like, dude, you got to get in, and they get in, and I'm like, that's me, except I'm not getting in, but
yeah,
dude, it's nuts, man.
it can be like
It's cool that it helps you though.
Yeah.
Like if it's like actually like benefiting you to do that, like you were saying, like it makes your lifts better, your dopamine like levels, everything, then that's what matters,
like it sucks when you're in there. Like it sucks getting in there. Like before you get in there, you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Your mind's like, I don't want to do this shit. But then you get in, and the cold just like you just force yourself in there, and you just tell yourself, fuck you, brain. I'm not bitching out. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
I have my watch on, a timer, so about 3 or 4 minutes I'm in there, and I get out, and I feel
4 minutes.
mostly 3 minutes. I think that's fair. I
Yeah,
think it's about
that's-
an average time.
That's 3 minutes longer than me.
Yeah, and dude, I started doing this last December,
Yeah.
and I was like, because I was doing some research on it, I'm like, okay, I got to do something to get rid of the seasonal depression because I refuse to do meds. I think that's ridiculous. I think it's time to just do something that might work for me. And I don't know if it's going to work for everybody,
Right.
but I mean, I recommend trying it at least
Yeah.
for a little while. If it's not for you, then it's not for you.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It works for me, so I do it. I keep doing it. I was doing some. I was reading something about cold plunges because I'd like to do a cold plunge if I could, and I was like seeing how people compared the two, showers and cold plunges. People that get into the cold plunge routine, don't like cold showers. They think it's the worst version of it because it's just more suffrage. Like, they said it's like pins and needles compared to like getting into a tub full of cold water. It's more. I guess it's like a worse version of it.
Yeah.
But maybe that's more of a challenge then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, dude, you got to be built for that to just all of a sudden, bam, especially. So I guess I kind of see it because like if I was going to do it, I think I'd rather go into like an ice tub or like a frozen lake like they do.
Yeah.
Get in for however long you got to get in for, was like 30 seconds to a minute or something.
I think for that it might be. Yeah.
Yeah. And then hop out. I'd do that just for like I don't know, like it's usually for like a charity or something. They do it for. I would do that 100%. But like in the shower, like it kind of does suck because like if you're ever taking a hot shower and all of a sudden it gets cold, you're just like your whole body shifts. You're like, no, you're like hiding under there trying to turn the knob. Like, come on, come back to warm. You know what I mean? So that I guess I see it that way too. But dude, if you can do that, that's amazing, dude. It's
not easy, man. It's not meant to be easy. There's a couple of good things to it too. Like it's also helping with discipline. Like just forcing yourself into a very uncomfortable situation, which I think benefits you throughout your day. Like if you're going through some stressful stuff, like even if your job's stressful, I think it helps you in that aspect, in that regard, because now you're like, okay, if I can handle that first thing in the morning, you have the ability and the mentality to handle stuff that's happening outside of that.
All day long, you're like, it can't be worse than what I started my day with.
Right. You're starting the day off with the worst thing you could possibly go through.
Yeah.
And that's just pitch ass cold water just hitting your body for 3 fucking minutes.
Man.
You know, you get your shit washed up, right? You know, fucking feeling good when you get out. You feel refreshed.
Yeah.
You know, you're fucking ready to go.
I do want to say, right, whenever I do take those cold showers after I mow, I get out of the shower and I feel great.
Yeah, dude, it's
like you get this feeling through your body where you're like, oh, that felt like it felt so good because I was so hot, but also like you get dressed and then you're like sitting there for a second, you're like, why do I have like this like tingling sensation?
Yeah,
and I feel good.
Yeah,
I have noticed that though. I have noticed that.
I love it, man. Like, obviously being in there sucks. You're suffering.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
So
but when you get out, you're like, oh yeah.
So when you take this morning shower, all right, I'm picturing the shower right now. It's pretty sexy. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
isn't it supposed to be hot and steamy when it's sexy? I don't know.
I mean,
cold causes shrinkage, man.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they say.
I'm not worried about that.
Nah, nobody cares about that.
No one cares about that anymore. So when you take this shower, is it like a wake up shower for 3 minutes, or are you actually taking a shower, like washing your hair, washing your body?
Yeah, I
doing
do
all that
the
in
whole
there.
thing.
Okay. So
not the hair so much, because if I do that, then I'm not washing it in the hot. I want to do that in the hot shower.
Yeah,
they say not to wash your hair too much because it dries the shit out. I don't want to do that.
That's what I've been learning too. Is like now that my hair's getting a little longer on top, I've been like,
it's hard
trying to like take care of my hair actually a little bit.
Yeah,
and I'm just like thankful at 34 that I have good hair still.
Yeah,
so I'm
same here, man.
And I was always like buzzing my hair off, getting like a nice fade or like a nice edge up and everything. And then I started hanging around friends I used to go to high school with.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, these guys have no hair anymore. Like, oh, these guys are bald. Like, oh, these guys have straight gray hair.
Yeah.
And, and I'm like, I don't. I was like, maybe I should like use that to my ability and like, flex it as long as I can.
You have to, because if you take that time and you don't if you grow it out, you're using that time that we have still being sort of youthful.
Yeah.
Whereas like later on the road, you're like, man, I wish I did that.
Yeah.
I wish I had that hairstyle.
And that's like a lot of shit that like, I look at some of my music videos too, or like my old vlogs. I'm like, why did I just look the same for like 10 years? I was like, I literally just had the same haircut. I wore like kind of like around like the same kind of style clothes. And it's weird because I'm like a mix of a lot of things, right? Like I love punk rock music. I love like metal music, but I also love rap music. Like I'm like, how I label myself is I'm like a rap historian, like a hip hop historian, right? I know like way back to the golden era of hip hop till now. And I'm like, but I've never really like showed that as like my style of like dressing or anything. I've always just kind of had this like, this athletic wear, but I'm into all these different things. So it's like, I'd be at like, like a Slipknot concert.
Yeah.
I went to Ozfest and saw Slipknot. It was one of the best things I ever did in my life. This was like Darien Lake 2007.
That's about right. Yeah.
Like possibly 2006. As I laid down, it was a sick show. But I'm just dressed like this, and people are like, why is this guy here? Because like those kind of groups kind of look at you like, oh, why is he like, wow, he actually likes this kind of music. That to me, it's like, yo, like it's crazy. Like I like this music too. Like why do we all have to dress the same?
Right.
And I just was like going through videos and just like pictures of me. I'm like, wow, I've literally just been wearing like the same, like had the same haircut, same style for years. I'm like, maybe I gotta switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's one thing I like to do. I like to switch it up. Like recently, I've gotten more into, I guess, my old man era. I'm just like, fuck it, let's just start getting the button up shirts and all that, and the flannels. I love them. They're fucking comfortable. They're pretty nice. They're stylish. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I like to dress how I like to dress. I mean, I wear my band shirts and shit, my hoodies. I mix it up. You know what I mean? You have to.
Yeah.
But Austin says, what's up, beautiful peoples? Hope you guys are enjoying your evening. Just thought I'd say hi. Of course, of course.
What's up, Dash?
We love you, Dash. I hope you're having a good time with your friends.
Wish you were here, man.
Bonfire.
I need a little buddy next to me right now.
I know he's missing out. Austin,
You
look
know?
what you did, man.
We could have had our first date on the show.
On the show,
We could have been,
it's ghosting you.
playing footsie under the table and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
I get it, man. I get it. You ghosted me for a bonfire. It's cool.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be the first one to do it. I'll say that.
It wouldn't be the first time. It won't be the last time.
Won't be the last time either. Dash, what up, though, man? I love you, dude. I wish you were here. Bogart, wish you were here.
Yeah, dude.
Get the whole group back.
We'll get you guys in the studio with us. We'll have to do something soon. I'm sure, like, because the holidays are coming up, we can do some special stuff.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah, dude. Like, styles change over time, right? So, like, you see all these kids now wearing all these different things, and like they got fucking joggers on. They got all these different. They got the broccoli haircuts.
Yep. The broccoli
Yeah,
haircuts.
dude, the fucking broccoli
I know
hairs.
exactly what you mean by that too. That's the funny thing.
Like, I've changed my hairstyle a couple times throughout my life. I mean, more than a few. I've grown it out. I've shaved it off. I've had it spiked. I've done everything.
Mohawk, yeah, everything.
Yeah, and like right now, I'm like, well, I'm in my 30s, so let's fucking go. Let's grow the shit out on top for one last hurrah before I
Yep.
get old, and let's just do this. Let's rock it out for as long as I can.
Yeah. I love your hair, by the way. Like,
Thanks, man.
That's kind of like what I'm going. It's weird because I started this whole process of just growing the top out and like pulling it back and just getting the side shaved up before I even met you.
That's wild.
And then when you came to the studio, I was like,
That motherfucker stole my hair.
I was like, this guy's got my future haircut. I was like, damn. I'm like, he's cool.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. Like when I started growing the shit out in 2021, so like my hair was mad short on the top.
Yeah.
Like it was barely up here with my bangs because I
Right.
would always, either spike it up or do a comb or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it, let's just do one last hurrah. Like I tried doing this a couple years ago, but I got tired of it. I just was like, fucking cut it off.
Yeah.
But now I'm like letting it do its thing, and
See,
I'm like, yeah.
I'm there right now where I'm like, should I just cut this or should I keep it? That's because
Yeah.
like once you get in that midway stage, you get in this like, do I like this? Do I love it?
And you're wearing hats to cover it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. And but see, that's the thing. Like nobody knows the hairstyle that I have until I
Until you
take my
take off your hat off.
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
But I'm a hat guy all day. Like I like always wear a
I
hat.
love hats.
So it's weird that I actually have like a hairstyle, but I always wear a hat.
Yeah.
And it's funny because speaking of hair, shout out Hazlitt's Barbershop. This is the newest sponsor on School of Martians.
There you go.
Just gave me a bunch of merch.
Talk slutting it up here.
Talk slut.
Gotta have that talk slut.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
she's a talk slut.
What up, Guillermo? My buddy Guillermo. I met him in Kansas City. He says, my boy Harold, yeah, I'm here.
What up, man?
I met him in Kansas City. We were actually trying out a job. He's from Texas. So I met him because we all flew into Kansas City, and we tried out this sales job. We're supposed, it's like a manager in training thing, and we hit it off, man. Like it was so cool meeting everyone down there, and just like that's the one cool experience about doing that is like trying something new. Even though it didn't work out, you got to
Yeah.
meet people that you never would have met had you have not gone there.
Right.
So I always tell people all the time, like you got to take the good with the bad,
Yeah.
bad with the good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For
So
sure. For sure.
I enjoy
I think
that.
about that a lot too.
Well, it's like podcasting, dude. Think about how many people you meet throughout this whole field,
Yeah.
and I think there's a lot of people I wouldn't have met, including you, if I
Right.
didn't start doing this.
Right. That's how I am. Like I wouldn't have met anybody in the podcast scene if I didn't start podcasting.
So when you start podcasting, like in your perspective, like what's your idea when it comes to, I mean, your full on platform and your format? Like, what was your initial thought of what you wanted to do?
So the podcast that I'm a huge fan of is $1 Million Worth of Game. It's Gilly they used to call him Gilly the Kid. Now he's Gilly the King because he's old. And Wallow 267, which Wallow 267 did 20 years in prison for armed robberies. And he came out of jail. And his cousin is actually Gilly. They used to rap back in the day. If you guys are on the show and you're familiar with Gilly, you know what I'm talking about. He's a clown. He's funny. He's funny as hell, dude.
I love comics, man.
He actually just put a video up today about about how his wife can't go to like a male masseuse. Like it's got to be a chick.
Yeah.
It's funny if I don't know. It was it was great, but I watched those guys for so long, like through COVID and everything else, and just what they were doing because they're giving you like $1 million worth of game. They're not like like giving out money. They're literally teaching people our age and younger, hey, we're in our 40s and we just did this and now we're one of the top podcasts in the world, and we're just up here shooting the shit, just talking about what we know.
Yeah.
And I got addicted to them. Like I'd watch episode after episode, and I'm like, see, if I had a podcast, it'd be like them. And I'll explain right now what that is. It's like they bring rappers on, and they've been through the music industry. Like Gilly's been through the music industry. He actually wrote the Carter 2 for Lil Wayne.
No shit.
Like he was a writer for that album. I mean, the guy's got like he's a genius writer. I was gonna say like a lyrical mastermind. I guess that makes sense. But like he can write rap music phenomenally. And I just got addicted to just them like bringing rappers on, these new age guys and old, like old and young, but like showing them what to do next, or like what's your next move, or like what are you gonna, and like they're just giving out game, And I was like, see, that's the kind of shit that I like, is like have fun on the show, but also like let them leave with like, I think I'm going to do what that guy said.
Yeah.
I think he kind of steered me in a different direction, or he brought up an idea that maybe I never thought of before that I could, plug in somewhere. So it's kind of like I want to give out like free 99 knowledge, but also like I want to have a good time. And those guys, like their podcasts, I could just sit and watch for hours. Just they're funny. The guests they have on are guys that I'm interested in seeing what it's about. And that's what made me podcast. So now that I have a podcast, me and Bogart, it's like I want to do like music stuff, but also like I also want to kick it with the homies.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of childhood friends I wish I could get in to come on and just have a reunion a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And tell, dude, remember this time, or dude, I can't believe, you know what I mean? Just like one of those, just like there's so many different ways once you have a platform and a setup to do that. Cause I've thought of so many different things. I'm like, oh, I could have so-and-so come on and it would turn into this eventually in the show. And we could talk about this cause that's trending. And we've also had our hand dipped in, you know what I mean? So it's like, there's so many different ways to incorporate things into the podcast. And, I'm a musician myself. So like, I want to always talk about music at some point. I always want to promote somebody else too, because I've always been a local musician, and I've always been like, yo, push local shit. Don't push the radio shit. But of course, like I love the radio shit because that's kind of, you got to listen to what's going on and whatever. But basically my format is I just want to have fun, and I want people to feel comfortable, especially when they're in the room with me, because I do want to bring on a full-fledged like stranger that I haven't met in person before on the show. That hasn't happened yet. Everyone that's came on the show I know in person. I want to bring a full-fledged stranger on and just kind of be like, hey, like sit back and unwind.
It's interesting when you do that. I've done it. I've had guys like the Spooky Metal Man, Dan Sprague, in here. I've never met the guy in my life. I reached out to him, invited him on the show. It's different for me because I'm doing this out of my house. I'm out of my home, so it's kind of like you have to be careful with that.
Absolutely.
You have to do some vetting. Whereas where you're at, you're doing it in a business type office setting, and you have your own studio there, and it's more professional in that sense, where you don't have to worry about somebody coming into your home. But it's weird because you don't know how that person's going to open up to you. You don't know if they're going to open up at all. You don't even know if they're going to talk.
That's true.
And I had that happen. I'm not going to lie. You can go back and watch the episode.
Yeah.
And it was weird because he brought his then at the time wife and her mom. They all came into I'm like, okay, sure, cool, whatever.
Bring the whole family.
Yeah, I mean,
where's the grandkids?
I just so I was like, all right, yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
Right.
So the wife's sitting there, his mother-in-law's sitting over here, and he's sitting over there, and we're doing the show. And I mean, people have told me, like, yeah, you carried it. He didn't really talk that much. He didn't really get too in detail about his experiences and all that. And he just kind of seemed shy. And I'm like, yeah, he did. So a couple days later, after he leaves, his wife gives me this weird, like, fucking novel messenger, like, message about how he's a fraud and he left her and that he's being homeless on his own, like is doing his own thing, and he left her, like all this weird shit.
So this is days after he was here?
Yeah, it was within the same week. And so I didn't respond. It's none of my business. That whatever happens outside of here. No, there's no reason to. Yeah. Don't even fucking respond.
Don't bring me into that. That's your own stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So like that happened, and
salute to you for that too. I fuck with that.
So I go on this guy's Facebook page and I just see all these crazy posts. He's got videos of him like taking a leak on the police station somewhere. It's just weird, man. Like had I had known that, I probably would have not.
Right.
I found out about this guy because somebody had brought him to my attention because he was on like a news station. They had like done a little interview and a little blurb about him. Yeah. I'm like, all right, well, if they, I'll reach out to him. I didn't know if he was going to answer or not. You never know.
Yeah.
But he answered, and he came on, and then that whole thing happened. But like, my suggestion is to kind of vet somebody before you do that, because I made a mistake and didn't.
Yeah.
At that sense, I just thought, well, he's on the news, he should be okay. Yeah. That's a bad judgment call on my end. Yeah. That's on me. I should have went on his social media and seen things, because like I went back and I saw some things. I'm like, all right, if I had seen that before, I'm like, okay, probably not gonna invite this guy into my home. We could do a remote. That's fine. If you want to do a remote, that's cool.
Yeah.
But you just never know who you're gonna bring into the fold. And people might get you involved in some weird drama like that. And I've had it with other guests, like Jeffrey Rogers from GSL News. I brought him in. And somebody left a comment saying, "Oh, good job having a criminal on your show." Like you'll get some bad feedback from people but fuck them, right? Yeah. Don't read that shit. Don't even let it bother you.
Yeah.
Just keep doing your thing, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have a good thing going.
Yeah.
I think you know what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I think you already are doing it.
Yeah.
So those are some of my experiences that I've experienced in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
So
well, you're talking about bringing people into your home and doing the show here. Like, I totally get the whole thing, like, scout people out, because for the longest time I was bringing people into my home to my recording studio, and I was recording people's mixtapes for them. I was, like, I got to the point where I was like, I don't really want all these people in my house, and they come over like frequently and they get comfortable here. Yes. And then something goes bad in their life. They're like, "Hey man, can I crash at the studio?" And then when I say no, it's, "Oh, fuck me now." Yeah. And I had to get away from that. So I strictly just record my own music in my own recording studio now. I don't record, for the record, I don't record anybody outside of my own music right now. If someone from my page is watching, we had the Nominee Records, we had like an LLC for it and everything. Like I used to have it, legit. I stopped all that. It was causing drama. People have problems with their family. Now they need a place to crash, or, this would happen most of the time, right? I have children, right? I have kids. So when I'm recording somebody, if I'm taking time to record you because you're paying me an hour or like whatever, like you're paying me a price for an hour per, session.
Yeah.
I'm taking time, like telling my kid's mom, "Hey babe, I got a guy coming over at 6. We're gonna be recording from 6 to 8, blah, blah, blah. Can you keep the kids out?" You know what I mean? So I'm going through all this stuff to record people, and then they don't show up.
That's the hard part.
So that's why I'm like, okay, so like, are you a rapper or not? It's like, I feel like I kind of set a trend where I lived. Nobody rapped where I lived. And then all of a sudden there was all these younger kids, which is cool because they're actually fans of me. Like, they were, wearing merch around. Like I'd see people everywhere. But now they all wanted to rap. But it's like, you're not taking it serious, because I take it serious, like as like a business point of view. So I had to stop all the recording at my house, and it's just me now. I just do my own thing at home. Me and Street the Villain, we record a lot. My brother MC Lo, we record. Other than that, I don't really. Oh yeah, Sea Dog comes over. The guy that's been on our podcast lately. If you've seen him,
I did see that.
Yeah, Casey, he comes over
That's
a
cool.
lot. So he's from the Bay. He's from Santa Cruz, California. But he's out here now.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, so he also worked with me in Bogart, and a kid at work was like, I guess he heard from someone at work that I make music and I rap, whatever. Well, apparently he did when he was in California. I never really talked to him. He's on the other side of the building. I don't really interact with too many people over there because I'm fucking busy over here.
Yeah.
But I got a chance to talk to him. He's like, hey, man, I heard you got a recording studio and shit. And I'm like, yeah, dude. He's like, dude, I rap. He's like, but I don't know where to record out here. He's like, I've recorded music my whole life. I don't know where to record. I'm like, no shit, dude. I'm like, well, yo, you should come over sometime. We'll figure it out. We started hanging out at work, like on lunch breaks, like talking about stuff like that. And he like started eventually coming over. And he's one of my best friends now.
Yeah.
Like he's one of like my best buddies. And he's actually good. There's like a difference when someone says they make music, you know, and they're not great, but like he's good. And I liked it. I like his style. You could tell there's California in it. You could tell, but he's mixed with like East Coast. It's just dope.
Yeah.
So I really just don't record anybody anymore for that reason. It's
Well,
too much.
Yeah, it can be, and like you mentioned the whole drama part, and I think Bogart can attest to this, having co-hosts in the past and all that. I've been down that road too, and it's just like, dude, if somebody wants to be a part of something, they need to just full-fledged be honest, not only with you but themselves. Like, okay, I want to do this.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
when you have somebody or multiple people come in and like they're not coming in for like months at a time, and it's because they don't feel like it. Like, look, I get it. People want to do people have to do like real life things, right? I get it. Like
for sure.
Like some of the co-hosts that are on now, they have a lot of things going on in their personal life, and I get that.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between that and when people just blatantly tell you like all this weird shit, like, oh, I'm depressed, and like it's the constant. Well, sure, you may have your problems, but we all have our problems.
Right.
Like, what makes you so special?
Yeah.
You understand certain things that other people go through either.
Absolutely.
Like, especially when like our son was born and all that, and like I have barely any time, and I'm like, if I can find the time to work on show stuff,
Yeah.
get the photos, videos gathered, whatever the hell we're doing, whatever we're talking about that day, but you have no effort or energy to come here and sit behind the microphone
Yeah.
to have a conversation and just hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Honestly, I think that's the best thing for depression.
It is.
Like, I feel like they're like running from a good thing that could potentially help their depression to just have a sad story, just to actually, maybe they want to be depressed.
Yeah.
Because I told Bogart off the rip, I said, dude, every time we've done a podcast, I deal with a lot of shit, man.
Yeah.
Being a single dad, me and my kid's mom, whatever. We're on good terms. It just sucks. Whatever. I go through a lot of things on my own.
Yeah.
I live in my house alone. I got 2 dogs. Luckily, they're like my everything that like until my kids come back over. I tell Bogart after every show, I'm like, dude, I needed that. I needed to like sit down and talk, even if it wasn't about what I'm going through specifically, but just to have a buddy to chat with and blind me for like a little while, like that helps. And I think that's one of the, like, if you're like into podcasting, I feel like that's why you're doing it, kind of, is to like make awareness, or like, it's almost like, like for people like you and I, it's like a mental health thing.
Yep.
Like if you don't podcast, you get out of like a little whack. Like when we've like skipped a week,
you feel it.
I'm like, dude, we have to do a show. Like we have to do one on this day, 100%, and I've noticed it, so when you're saying that people are like, oh, I'm calling in because I'm depressed, dude, it sucks because I'm just lucky that I know you and I know Dash and I know Bogart right now.
Yeah.
Because everything we've kind of talked about since we've known each other, it's been straightforward. We're like, I feel like we all kind of are on the same page with what we want to take this to,
100%.
or like eventually be. And a lot of people, when you say, hey, like, what if we did this? They're like, oh yeah. And then let me know when it works out. Oh, I might not though.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna tell you when it works out because why would I let you in this successful thing that I'm building?
Yeah.
Just for you to be a yes man.
Yeah. Forget all that.
You know, and so I'm thankful that I met you guys for real. And I tell everyone that views my podcast also, like when I send out a thing, I'm like, hey, go check these guys out too. Or like when you guys are live, I'm sending it to people like on Facebook or whatever.
It's greatly
like
appreciated,
DMing it to them like, hey, dude, you like my shit? Go watch these guys. These are my buddies.
Yeah.
So I'm just thankful, man, that like Bogart, you know, I'm thankful that I met Bogart, and I'm thankful that he introduced me to you guys, like-minded individuals.
It's important.
It is.
You know, I look at it this way because there's a lot of people out there like you have history with over the years, and I can attest to this because I just went through this past year. Like you can bond with people and get to know them for like 10 years, and then like, you know, if you've known them since you were like a teenager or early 20s, we all have different like lifestyles back then.
Yeah.
We've all lived different lives. And then you get to your 30s and you see these people still living that sense of like just immaturity and like still living in a world where drinking is the thing to do on the weekends and that's it.
Yeah.
No goals, no accomplishments, no projects. You're just sitting there. Maybe you're smoking a doobie. Maybe you're just drinking your life away. But they're not doing it to have fun at this point. They're doing it to blind themselves of the reality and drown themselves out of it. And you're just sitting there like, I want to do more with my life. I want to be better. I want to build something to make something good. I want to build my body up, my mind, everything. You know what I mean? But
mind, body, soul, man.
And like, you know what I'm saying? And then like you try to get them involved, but they're just not having it. They don't want change to happen.
It's like you're bringing in like a succubus at that point, you know? And that's like, I've dealt with that through the music shit forever. Like there's a lot of artists where I'm like, yo, we should make a mixtape together. You're dope. I'm dope. Let's do it. But you're only dope because I've heard your music. I don't really know you.
Right.
But let's do a song because you got people that listen to you. And then you meet this person. You're like, I don't know if I want to make a mixtape with this guy.
Yeah.
And then you realize like, oh, they weren't going to do it anyways.
That's
because
the problem.
they'd rather get high.
They're not willing to
So-
put the work in. And like
Yeah.
misery loves company.
Yep.
People like to complain about their life situations and how they can't get out of it, which is horse shit.
Yeah.
You know, you have to put yourself to the test. You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Like you were saying about people are like, oh yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
We'll come by when it's done.
Yeah,
They don't
let
want
me
to pick
know.
up. They don't want
Let
to
me
pick
know
up
it
the
works
tools
out.
to build it though. They don't
Yeah.
want to pick up the
Yeah.
hammer to build the framing. They want to just
Yeah.
come in when the house is built already, walk
Yeah.
through the door and
Wow,
say,
look at this
hey,
place.
I live here now. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so like, look, I've gone through a lot of phases in my life, and I look back at them and I go, I'm so fucking glad. I'm not in that part of my life anymore. There's certain people like that have, you know, passed away since then that you miss, of course, but you look back at those times and go, I'm glad they're done.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't hang out with people that I grew to learn that they weren't who they portrayed themselves to be all this time. I'm glad that I'm not stuck in a situation in a very toxic friendship or relationship anymore. And some people that you look back on, you'll hear or learn that they're doing better. And you're like, good, I'm glad. I'm glad they got
Yeah.
out of that rut.
Yeah.
Others, you learn that they stayed in the same fucking rut. They got worse or stayed the same. And you're like, well, I'm glad I didn't do that.
Right.
Why would you want to stay the same as you were last year? Fuck that.
Right.
I want to move forward.
Right.
I want to see growth.
That's like 100% of like why I'm just my own fucking best friend nowadays.
You
to
have
be
to
honest.
be.
Like I don't. So it's funny. I didn't want to bring this up, but I'm going to. Been talking to this girl, right? And she's like, "You don't ever want to see me, though." And I'm like, "No, I absolutely want to see you." But when I like, so we work different hours. She works nights. I work days. It's kind of hard, anyways.
Yeah.
But it gets to the point where like, okay, I get out of work, but you're off today. Okay, I still just am like shot right now.
Yeah.
Like mentally drained. Like I don't want to give somebody like that version of me. I don't want to be that complainer like, oh, I worked so hard today. I'm tired. Why am I, you know, I would like, and it makes people mad that you want to remove yourself to give them a better version of you.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like, because I would rather give somebody the best version of me that they deserve. And that's how I feel a lot of what we're talking about goes into, is like, once you realize like this person just wants to drink and smoke their life away, it's like, okay, that's cool. But like over here, like we're being mindful, like we're making plays.
Yeah.
You know, like we're like jotting down. We got charts going over here.
Yeah.
And we're crossing shit off the list.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you aren't contributing to it, then take that path and you see them again maybe 5-6 years later and they're better, or like you said, they're not.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, it's kind of whatever. But I feel like I don't like giving somebody the dull version of me. And I don't feel like anybody deserves that. Like I would rather deal with things on my own than bring it to someone else's energy.
Yeah.
It's just that simple and plain. I'm just that guy that's like, man, I'm not mentally prepared for that today. Let's try again tomorrow. And then I'm okay. It's okay to be like, excuse me. It's okay to like come back to the drawing board and be like, let's try again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's get ourselves back together here and let's come back to the, like, it's okay to do that. People are like, oh, like, he's being weird tonight, so maybe not. Or, you know what I mean? But it's okay to like have to deal with shit. It's okay.
It's
you know?
100% fine.
Well, oh, hold on a second. I'm staring. So I know what happens when I pick this eggplant up over here.
Oh yeah.
I'm staring at this 8-ball over here. What happens when I pick the magic 8-ball up?
I don't know. Usually a question goes into it and you ask it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know, because there was like a thing with like the eggplant where I pick it
Cock
up.
confession.
Yeah, but I just keep seeing this 8-ball, and like I'm a fidgeter, dude, as you could tell.
That's
here.
fine.
I know, like I'm like, dang, that 8-ball looks so fun to shake right now. But I'm like, he told me what happens when I pick that up.
Shit, maybe I shouldn't have.
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know what that
have.
8-ball does. So
Maybe you shouldn't have.
I'm just, you know, checking it out over here.
I like having little gadgets and stuff on the table. It's
No,
nice.
for sure, and I think we need to get a little bit more stuff like that where we are, for sure. Because I'm like a very like stimulated person. Like I'm trying to make great eye contact with you, but also like I love your lights, and it's kind of like
No, you're good, man.
I'm like, yeah, this is so sick. But I don't know. I just saw that 8-ball like a million times, and I'm like, yeah, he told me what happens when I grab the dick. I don't know what happens when I grab that 8-ball. So,
Yeah, we might have to replace that eggplant. Just put a fucking full-on dildo in this place.
yeah,
But I
like a suction cup one, and it sticks there.
But you know what though? If
you
that
can, like,
happens,
jerk it off and fidget.
Yeah. But if that happens, YouTube sees it, then you pull it down.
That's true.
Canceled.
That's true.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
So we got the eggplant.
There's a lot of things like that like I just want to put into fruition in the video, and then I'm like, oh, but I'll get flagged or something. And it's always YouTube. Well, because like we're like mainly on YouTube, so we always have to be like, you know, goody.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, dude, like podcasting has opened up so many doors for everybody. And like when you look at things like this, again, it brings you to the sense of reality of we are in the present, we are enjoying each other's company, we're discussing things, and we're not being distracted with everything else around us. I think that's what happens a lot, where people are losing that human contact.
yeah,
The human touch is unfortunately phasing away because the newer generations are so used to diving into tablets and iPhones and all this other weird shit, social media.
Yeah.
It's not good for the brain.
Yeah.
It's not. Like I find myself thinking like I'll be like on my phone doing some work and I'm like, okay, I need to stop doing this. I need to just enjoy the moment for a moment.
absolutely.
You know, because like I use my phone as more of a, okay, let me go see what I can think up. Like I'll look up different topics to talk about, like what's going on in the world today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously the fucking election and all that shit just happened, and we had some really uncomfortable conversations last week. But you know what? At the same time, it's like those conversations need to happen.
They have to.
And I used to stray away from that because there were certain people on the show that in years prior that just, I don't think they would have handled it in a very adult way.
Right.
And I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
If you can't handle something like that in an adult manner, then I think there's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Those conversations are going to be null and void at that point.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to sit here and get into a screaming match with somebody who's just going to blatantly not listen to anyone else's sides and just kind of go on a tangent about how they're right and you're wrong.
That's exactly it.
Like we see that a lot already. And who the hell wants to do that themselves? Like,
Yeah.
you see it on social media, man. It's fucking out of control.
You know what a phone can do to me, and maybe people can attest to this also. Is like my phone is like a mood changer for me. I can like look at my phone and like laugh at a reel and be like, "That's great,"
Yeah.
and then I can scroll like a couple more times and see something that'll like trigger me from like PTSD or something, and then I'm like, "Oh, now I'm all fucked up."
Fucking bummed
And then
out.
and then you get a text message on your phone that's like from one of your buddies, "Hey dude, what's going on?" You're like, "Oh dude, my boy, what's up?" And then like a girl texts you like, "I don't think we should see each other anymore." And then it's like
It's a roller coaster.
like a phone is like literally controls your emotions nowadays. And I've been seeing that lately. I'm like, every time I'm nose deep in my phone is when I feel like I'm the most unmentally prepared for what I'm going to do in a little while.
Yeah.
And it fucks me up. I don't even know if that made sense, but it fucks me up because like I'm like I get highs, I get lows, I get mids, and it's like then I'm thinking, what are these kids like? Kids in these video games are like, like fuck you, your mom's a whore or something, and then you're, and then the kid's like, don't talk about my mom that way, and the kid's like, I'm just kidding, man, you're the shit, dude, you're good, you got 50 kills. It's like, yeah, man, I'm cool. He's like, but you're still a douchebag. And it's like just like a constant up and down with the like social media and all the shit that you see. It's like so much overstimulation of viewing, but also emotions.
It's like a drug.
Yeah.
It really is. It may not be a substance, but there are levels of dopamine and everything that happens to your brain when you look at stuff on social media, like you were saying, like the highs and lows.
Yeah.
And people get addicted to that shit. Like,
Yeah.
including if you post something and you get like 1,000 likes and your brain's like, oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
You get those dopamines. You want more.
Yeah.
The instant gratification of, oh, I just posted this. Now people are engaging with it. I'm getting a lot of reacts to it, which, it's, to me, that's the problem with especially children.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of warping their brain into thinking that that's real life.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah.
That is not real life at all.
Like, oh, this many people like me.
Yeah.
And then you go outside and you're like, well, where are all these people?
They're not there.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that you see with all the shit going on right now where people are posting videos about how like these women are saying they're going to get a gun and shoot white guys that are on the street and all that. And people will look at that and go, oh my God, that's real life. But if you go out and actually do human shit like real people should do, you'll notice that not everyone's out there doing batshit bonkers shit like that.
Yeah.
They're not saying, hey, I'm going to shoot you with a gun. They're out there probably holding the door for you and saying hello. Like that sense of like humanity is still out there.
Yeah.
You just got to put the fucking phone down.
Yeah.
And realize what is in front of you.
Exactly.
But people forget that because they're so involved and wrapped up to their phone. And look, I'm me myself included. I get wrapped up sometimes, and I admit that. But some people are like, no, it doesn't change my fucking way of thinking, and that's horse shit. It is. These phones are fucking. They're like a drug. Like I said, like
it is.
And people won't admit that they're addicted to it.
Yeah.
I
admit, dude, I am addicted to my phone. But see, I never was like that addicted to it until I became living alone, because like I don't have anyone else in my house, so it's like I'm always like looking at my phone like, oh, what did so and so say to that comment, or oh, what, so it's more like, to me, it's like my interaction. And then when I'm around people, see, I guess it's like vice versa, because when I'm around people, I don't care about my phone, because I'm around people, and like, like this is what I want, like ultimately this is what I want to be around people, not just a text or I FaceTime a lot of my buddies. I got a lot of buddies that are in like New York City, Chicago, and stuff that I make music with, and like the only way we can communicate is a video chat, which is fine. But then you're actually with people. I'm like, I don't need my phone, because this is cool as shit. But like, oh, that's funny. Let me take a picture of that. You know what I mean? That's what the phone becomes as like a camera at that point. Not like oh guys, did you see whatever so and so just said? It's like they don't care because like everyone follows all these different people and different things that. There's no way you could sit there and even have a conversation about what's going on the internet. There's so many. There's a new trend every 20 seconds.
I'm very grateful for our childhood, man.
Same.
I really am. Like, dude. Our age group, I think, is the last age group that really got to enjoy childhoods as they should have been enjoyed. Because now it's like tablets, phones, just all this crazy shit. Where
even
back then,
baby toys have like screens on them now.
Dude.
I'm like, they don't need. Why is there a digital screen on this fucking baby toy?
Don't need it.
It drives me nuts, man.
Yeah, you look at these you look at these nostalgic things on social media like Instagram and shit, and you're like, man, I'm so happy that I didn't grow up in today's I think about that with my son, dude. I'm like, I don't want him involved in this technology and not having a good childhood. Because to me, if you're just engaged with that all the time, I think you're missing out.
Yeah,
you really are missing out your whole childhood.
You're not like learning like any people or like communication skills behind a screen. You're really just learning how to not have communication skills.
Exactly.
I mean, like, look at the way we like abbreviate stuff. Laugh out loud, for instance. OMG. And then you go out in the wild, I'll say. You go out in the wild, you're not saying, oh, something's funny. LOL.
Right.
You're actually laughing. Or like when you say OMG on a phone, usually when someone texts like, oh my God, I can't even picture them saying, oh my God. It's just like it's like quick response.
Yeah.
But like when I'm in person, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all those things turn into like an actual thing in real life. So the communicating through the text, like, you know, like WYD, what you doing?
What you doing? Yeah.
And then when you're like in person, you're like, what up, bro?
Yeah.
Like you don't, it's
nobody
not,
says what, yeah.
Yeah. It's not, it's like, I look at it like that compared to like dude, we should make a video of like, you know, things like that compared to like real life interaction and be like, see, you don't even use this in real life. So like, why do we do it?
Right.
We should make like a reel of that. I'd be sick.
I got into just creating content back when YouTube started.
Yeah.
And that's what we were doing, like the little sketch videos and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like little comic stuff. And it was just dumb shit you would make as a 14-year-old. Like then we would also throw ourselves against garbage cans, do dumb shit like that, you know, because Jackass was a huge thing.
We got videos like that as well.
Yeah, dude. So like, you know, at least, but here's the thing, like, yeah, you know, they might be stupid looking back at it, but at least we were doing something outside as kids rather than being in your room and being on a tablet all day.
Yeah.
Like we had our computers, we had computer rooms, but once you left that or your house, you didn't have that connection to the internet anymore. You were out living the real world. Now it's like we have these things tethered to our fucking pocket 24/7.
Yeah.
And it feels so liberating when you just leave that shit behind or just put it away and are like enjoying the moment. Like I love going out. It's been a little bit, but I'm going to probably start getting back into it, like going out, just having a nice hike or something.
Yeah.
And just forgetting all that shit.
Yeah.
And just enjoy like the adventure, the journey.
Yeah.
Because like when you go out there and you're just enjoying that stuff, you forget all about all that shit.
A lot of my vlogs too are actually hikes. It's like funny that you said that. Cause like, I feel like that's when I'm like in like my most like perfect form.
Yeah.
Not like, you know, like physically, but just like I'm out in the woods, nothing's interrupting me right now. I'm breathing fresh air. I'm seeing nature. I'm hearing birds. I'm hearing whatever. There's like, you know, there's water running. Like that kind of stuff inspires me, like to create.
I want to do more vlogs. It's been a while. The last slew of vlogs that I did was when I went to Philadelphia 6 months ago.
I watched that vlog actually on your channel.
Did you?
Yeah, where you were just like cruising through the city and you were taking pictures and stuff of everything you were seeing, or
Dude, it was
no, it was videos. But you were staying in a hotel. I saw that you were like in the elevator and shit or whatever.
I love making a story.
Yeah.
I've always been huge on like filmmaking, independent filmmaking, and I was like, well, if I can just kind of get the creativity out there and doing a vlog, let's make it like a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, it's kind of a pain in the ass. You set up shit just to make like little, you're walking through the hall and then you have to pick up the camera, and but that's real life, you know?
Yeah, it's like, what's it called? Bureau.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Like
I think so.
B-roll or whatever?
B-roll, yeah.
B-roll.
Yeah, well, are you talking about B-roll? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be B-roll, and then like other stuff like around the atmosphere and all that shit.
I try to do that in my vlogs too, you know, and but like to me, like that's what I feel like if someone wants to actually see what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. You want to see me walk down this hallway really quick and take a left, or you want to see me hike up this waterfall for like, you know what I mean? That makes it happen.
It has to make sense.
Yeah.
Like you don't just like if I notice so there's a lot of clips that I'll record, a lot of things I'll shoot, and then during the edit I'm like, okay, do I really need this? There's more things that I record that I don't even add, because you look back and you're like, does it make sense?
Yeah.
As a viewer, would you want to see this? Does it add anything to the story that you're trying to tell in this vlog.
Right.
And same thing goes with music, man. I'll put things together and I'll do it as I go through the timeline of this video, and I'll go through and say, like, I love Epidemic Sound.
Yeah.
Because that's a nice site where you can, it's a subscription base. You go on there, and I'm not, you know, getting paid by them or anything to say this, but like, it's a nice way to go in and you have a slew of music you can use.
Hell yeah.
And you can go through and say, okay, this one adds to the emotion I want to add to this story.
Yeah.
To this vlog. And like one of my favorite ones that I did was when I went to Philadelphia. I went to go see this Liberty Bell and all that stuff. And just like when I was going to the one monument that was made for like George Washington and his army and shit.
Yep.
Like,
I think I remember that in the video.
Yeah. Like where I was walking up to it and all that.
Yeah.
Dude, I had to take a moment. For whatever reason, it just kind of struck a chord, and I'm like, okay, I gotta just kind of take it in right now.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know, I'm like getting this weird emotion. It's like it was weird because like I'm the one making this.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I'm feeling something that I knew what it was about, but I'm like,
yeah.
But then it just like sparked something else. I'm like, okay, so like as a viewer, this is what I'm gonna feel.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like trying to put my eyes through like a viewer's point of view.
Yeah.
Dude, I love video. That's how I got started in this shit. I did that before I started podcasting.
Yep.
You know, video photography.
Wait, does it actually surprise you that I've actually seen that video on your YouTube that you're talking about?
I don't know, man. Like, yeah, kind of.
If I'm like a, you know, like if I like follow somebody or if I'm like a fan of somebody, like I just go check all their shit out and like I'll just click through and be like, cool.
Yeah.
They got some shit up. That's cool.
Yeah, I love the whole process. I love it. I wish I had more time to do more, you know what I mean? But I think
same.
But I think like finding like-minded people, I think we could really make some cool things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
For sure.
I really want to do more of it.
For sure.
My whole I guess a wish of mine, and I wouldn't say a hope because I want to make it happen.
Yeah.
I want to do a short film.
Same. That's what dude, I just told Bogart, dude, I have a short film written right now.
Do you?
Like, and it's not like the greatest thing. I mean, like I'm a writer, like I write music.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I tried to sit down and actually like write a screenplay, and it was easy.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe like how quick, like I was like writing like a script for people to say.
Yeah.
And then also like in like parentheses, I was putting like what's going on in the background.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of scene is this at? Like I was writing all that in, and then I told Bogart, I'm like, dude, I think I have like a short film that we should film. And he was like, rip it to me. And I told him what it was. And he was like, yeah, dude, that'd be cool. And I'm like, but see, that's the thing. It's not like something crazy. It's just like, I want to see how this would even work out, make it come to life and see it and be like, wow, like we made a short video.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. And yeah, dude, I'm on the same boat with that right now. I just, it's funny. It's actually about a Bigfoot.
No shit.
Yeah. It's like, whatever, like I guess I'll spill the beans, who cares, because it may never come to life. But it's just like, you know, like this guy's got his own little fishing spot or whatever down in the woods, and he goes down there, hangs out down there all the time. He notices that some shit that he has, like, well, because like my dad's got like a fishing spot, like he's got like a piece of land where like we go down there, we used to party down there and shit.
Okay.
And he's like, sees stuff is like mixed up or not right. And it's like a sequence of days. He keeps coming back down to fish and hang out. And he's like, wait, well, I didn't put that right. Well, like, so like shit's like mixed up. Then he ends up like not finding a foot. Cause you know, like a Bigfoot movie would be like, oh, look, a foot, you know, like, oh, no way.
Cliche,
you know?
right?
Yeah. But it's kind of like, so, you know, you just find like this black hair just, and, you know, like stuck to like a branch. And you're like, what is that from? And then like, you know, like the guy sets up like a trail cam and he ends up seeing something. And then like, so like he's going down, like it's like he's like stalking this thing, but like, so he's being stalked by that, but he's also stalking the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And then eventually like they come face to face and the Bigfoot is cool. And he brings him to his house and he's just hanging out at his house and he's doing like he's showing them like that's a fork.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of like dumb. It's just like an easy little thing like that. But I wrote it all out. There's like 8 episodes. And I was like, dude, I want to like make that a movie. Like a little short film for YouTube.
It's cool to be able to like put that out there.
Yeah.
You put it in writing.
Yeah.
And then you start like when you get into the mix of like doing the shoots, and then you start actually getting the editing put together, and then you got the full final product. The satisfaction you feel is one of the best things that you could ever feel. The
Yeah.
accomplishment.
Yeah.
And I always think like I don't know if this generation that's growing up right now is going to understand that.
Yeah.
The way things are. Like I said, instant gratification.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's a 5-second TikTok video of me dancing. It's not the same as it is when you write out a full screenplay like that,
Right.
shoot the whole thing, get
Yeah.
everyone together.
Chop it all up.
Yeah.
Get all like the B-roll like we were talking about, like, you know, him getting in the car and driving away and then arriving at the spot.
Yeah.
You know, like all of that, like all of those scenes are shot all on their own. And then you're like mixing it all together and you're putting background music in, like you were saying, that fits, that actually, you know, it's like, it's cool, man. I would love to do something like that. My buddy growing up, I think he lives out here somewhere. I think he moved out to like Irondequoit or something. But my buddy, when we were younger, he was always a kid with the video camera. Like, I mean, like the video camera with like the eyepiece.
Yeah, that's
like the big boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we used to film skate videos. And so we made a video at this kid's party. This kid had a party. His parents were out of town for the weekend. He brought boxing gloves.
That's risky business.
Yep.
It's risky business right
So
there.
we started this backyard coon fights. It was called
Mike Tyson, man.
Backyard coon fights.
Get him in there. He'll fucking knock everyone out.
I wish he was there because he would have been like, this is dumb. Don't ever do this
He'll
again.
be knocking everyone out.
So
fucking killing everybody.
It got to the point where we were like, so we did it this one night at this kid's party. We filmed us like, just like, we should box, and we'd put on the gloves and we would box that person.
Oh, dude.
It ended horribly, but there's like a trailer that the kid made and he was going to put all the full fights out.
Yeah.
So this got out in school. This is back on.
That's a dangerous fucking move.
I want to, what was the website back then where you could upload? Was it Vimeo?
Oh, I think it's Vimeo.
Vimeo.
Was this before YouTube?
Yes.
So this is before YouTube.
Yep.
So it had to be. This has to predate 2005.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It was like Vimeo or something like that, and we were putting these like boxing videos on there of just like going in, and we called it backyard coon fights because we would do it at whoever's backyard's parents weren't home that day.
Jesus Christ.
So we'd be like, everyone meet at Jeff's house. His parents are gone from this time to this time. We'll get like 3 matches in and we'll all leave.
Jesus.
I mean, kids are leaving with busted noses, bleeding, broken wrist. Like we were just like doing this, and it's funny, man. So this got big in school. People in school were talking about it. It got to the principal where they told the kid that I'm talking about that if you upload those videos, you're going to be suspended from school.
What's that got to do with school?
And he's like, but this didn't happen in school.
Right.
So I guess this is why this guy, and I didn't know this part, he recorded a school fight.
Oh.
Someone getting fucked up in school.
That's a problem.
And that was part of the trailer.
That's a problem.
And he put that in there. And so they freaked out.
Yep.
And he never took the videos down though. Like he did, but he faked it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like he took it down but put it back up. And it's actually on YouTube. If you go to YouTube,
It's on there right now.
If you go to YouTube and type in backyard coon fights, I'm actually boxing in the video. You can't really tell it's me because I like put my hood up and I have like a puffy vest on.
Jake Paul shit.
Yeah, and I'm just like bah, 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 bah. And dude, it was probably, I want to say 2005, 2006, but
YouTube.
yep,
Let's see if we can find it, dude.
backyard coon fights.
Are we gonna get in trouble for this?
I don't think so. No, it's not bad. It's just kind of showing me and you know, the kids I grew up with just doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like you said, like back then we had a camera and we thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Backyard.
I think backyard's one word, and then space coon fights. Don't ask me why that's what we called it. But that's
I was gonna
what it
say, like, what the fuck's going on there?
Coon
It's all
fights.
raccoon shit, man.
Tried
You
it.
guys fighting raccoons in here? Is that what's going on?
No, we're kind of
He took him
side.
down, didn't he?
Go to type in trailer after that.
Trailer. Don't even fucking.
Type in trailer after fights. Actually,
All right.
see if that, because I know it was just a trailer for it. I don't know.
Backyard Fighting League. Is that it?
Raccoons breaking into trailers. That's funny.
Yeah, it's real life, man.
That sucks. That doesn't come up right away.
Yeah. Can't find it, huh? Shit. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find it.
I'll know the thumbnail if it comes up, but
Do you know the channel by chance?
try typing in the channel Taplin, Taplin, 89.
89. I don't know, man.
Dang, I just watched this not too long ago, too, like a couple of years ago. It was in one of my vlogs, and I was just
Oh, he might have taken it
laughing.
down.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did because I don't think he has access to the channel anymore. He forgot the password,
Yeah.
so I don't think that. Anyways, if we can't find it, that's cool. But I'll try and send it to you anyways, so you can watch it on your own time. But yeah, we would just go in people's backyards and just box.
It's like homeless. It's like that guy that was videoing homeless fights.
Yeah, the bum fights.
Yeah, the bum fights.
Bum fight, and that's so the kid that had the
Inspiration.
camera. He was obsessed with bum fights. That's
I was gonna say.
That's the funniest
This
thing about
fucking
it is
guy.
like he was inspired by that. Like, dude, like we should do fights, and like we're all just like, I don't know, man. Like none of us really know how to fight, and if I got a box like that kid in our grade that's like way bigger than me, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But then I never boxed anybody at this point in my life.
Right.
I boxed this kid and I was like, dang, I did pretty good. Like he didn't get me, so like. Maybe I will box somebody else. And I don't think I ever boxed anybody else in the thing, but it's crazy shit, man. You know, but it all came from we were introduced to being able to take video now, and we were able to edit it on Windows Media Player and just put something together like our skate videos. Wow, we can go to Spinners right now.
Oh, yo, Spinners.
Yeah, we can go to Spinners and make a skate
oh.
video now.
Do you remember that place?
Dude, I grew up there. I grew up there, man.
Did you go to the lock-ins?
Oh, all the time.
Yo, I'm sure
the
we
time.
must have crossed paths.
I'm sure we have. Dude, it sucks. It's like a Tractor Supply now.
I
or
know.
Something like that. Like I always like if I drive by that area, I'm like, I just want to like flip it off. Like fuck you, dude. Bring Spinners back. That was, dude. Those were the best days.
They were. Well, they were some of the best days and the worst days.
That
I gotta
is
say.
also true.
The
That's
fucking lock-ins, dude. You've gone to those, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
Like all of them, pretty much. When I was like between 2005 and
we definitely.
7.
Yeah, we definitely ran into each other.
Yeah.
My wife's 4 years younger than I am, just about. So she just turned 30, and I'll be 34 in February. So she's never gone to a lock-in there. She knows of it because she's from that area and shit. And so I guess from what I understand is the building had some like pipes burst and it fucking ruined everything. That's why they tore it down. And
Really?
Yeah, that's why they did that. So
it's like water damage or something.
yeah, they tore it down.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I never knew why.
Yeah,
To be honest, I never knew why that came down.
that place. Oh god, dude, I used to be reckless in there. I used to be horrible in there, man. They fucking kicked me out. Actually,
Really?
they did.
What'd you do? Go outside? No. Because they flipped out when you went outside.
Yeah, because well, I mean, think about it. You're a
Lock
minor. You're a minor.
Yeah.
and
it's
you're-
called the lock-in.
Yeah, it's fucking middle
once
of the
you're
night.
inside, you're in. You don't want to go outside.
You get in there what time? Like 7:00 in the evening.
Yep.
And you're there until 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's just mass pandemonium.
Dude, I remember like, did you ever sleep there?
No, you can't sleep there.
I remember people like bringing sleeping bags
Yeah.
to sleep in the
What are they-
corner of the ring. I'm like, I would laugh. I'm like, dude, you think that's gonna work out?
No, it's not.
Somebody's gonna push their buddy on top of you. I'm
When
just letting you know.
When you
that.
have someone like me go in there as a fucking
No one's
amped up,
sleeping.
just rambunctious teenager,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to you and probably punch you in your face,
yeah,
for
no-
sleeping,
no one's
or
sleeping
dump
there,
a
dude.
bucket of cheese on your head. I wouldn't even trust anybody in that building to
No.
go to sleep.
I just remember, you know how like I used to go there and skate. You know how like inside the indoor skate park there was that back door behind the vert wall that went out to the outdoor skate park.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the lockers are
Right. Yep.
were.
So they locked that back door, so we couldn't go out.
Oh shit.
Because we would go out there and smoke and
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
we'd, like get a cigarette in real quick or whatever. And like, so my buddy, it's funny because that area was fenced in, but my buddy, the one that was making the videos I was telling you about, Taplin, he would fill water bottles of vodka, and before we went into the place, he'd throw them over the fence into the outdoor park. So when we went outside, we could find the bottle real quick, take a sip, you know, here, oh, you know what I mean?
Get fucked up.
Throw it somewhere and come back in. But they caught on and they ended up locking the back door now. So now like our whole shit's fucked up. We can't have fun here anymore. But my one buddy figured out that before, so something with the same key that goes in the door, you could finesse with the one that you got for the lockers. Like you could put that key in there
In the lockers.
and fuck it up and it would actually, you know, pop open. So I remember like we'd bring girls out there and shit, and like we would have to tell the kids who were skating because you can't trust anybody there.
No.
Be like, dude,
Nobody.
you see us go out this door. If you tell, we're gonna jump you.
Yeah.
Like see all the people that I'm with right now. If you tell that we went outside, we're gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
And I hope you're here with as many people as we are. You know, because we'd go in a gang of people, like 10, 12
Everybody
kids.
did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, that was the best times. I'm so glad that we're talking about this right now.
Yeah, because when you said spinners, that you opened up a whole fucking box of
Spinners was like
Oh my
my
God.
life, man.
Yeah.
And the next day from Spinners
was
the most fucked up. You were like falling asleep on the ride home.
Yeah.
Your mom would be like, "Wake up, come on, we gotta go inside." And you'd go inside. You'd walk in your house.
everything's weird. Your head's still spinning.
Yeah.
Your ears are like, oh my god, I just listened to loud music all night.
You just listen to "Get Low" by Lil Jon like
Yeah.
40 times.
Oh yeah, 40 times.
40 times they played that song.
Get Low.
Yeah.
The what the fuck is it called? The cha-cha slide or whatever
Yep.
the fuck it's called.
Yep.
That was always a thing.
Yep. Dude,
We Be Burning.
Yep.
That song.
we be burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fucking-
However that went, I can't remember. But
I can hear it in my head.
Yeah.
Um.
Dude, hold up. This is gonna top it off.
Oh shit! Here
Do
we
you,
go.
do you remember the last song they played before you left?
I don't.
Well, it's all in my head.
Oh yeah.
They always played
When
that.
she's giving me head. Yeah,
Yes,
that song.
exactly.
We used to make parodies of that song.
Oh
all
yeah,
the time.
for sure. They always, I noticed they'd always play that song
Right before.
when it was time to go.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, no one wants to hear Tim McGraw and Nelly right now. I think it's Tim McGraw, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Tim McGraw, whatever.
Whatever.
I was like, it's like, dude, like, why this song before we go?
right.
Like every time we went, I'm like, oh, it must be time that we're leaving soon. They're
time.
playing fucking Tim McGraw and Nelly. It's all in our head now. This whole night's in our head. Let's go home.
That's it.
But we caught on to that. They played that song
Right before.
right before it was time to go. Weird shit, dude.
Dude, that fucking play. Were you there the night somebody had brought a pair of brass knuckles and a gun,
I think so.
and the cops came and
So I don't
Yo.
remember. I don't remember the gun, but I remember brass knuckles being
Yeah.
there, and they lost their mind.
everyone. It was like when
They
so the-
searched everyone's bags.
Yeah.
It sucked, dude.
It was a weird time. Like to me, it was almost like watching a movie. And you know how there's like a large crowd before like a fight's about to break out?
Yeah.
And you're like kind of shifting through like the crowd. Like that's what we were doing to see what the fuck was going on. And I was like, oh my God, it's like a movie right now.
Yeah.
And then the fucking police came. Come to find out, it was a girl that we knew from our school. Her boyfriend or her friend or something like that had smuggled this shit in and was like planning on doing some disastrous shit that night.
Wow.
And the cops, somebody spilled the beans, and they fucking came in
Thankfully.
and they ganked. Yeah, exactly. Looking back at it now, that would have been a fucking catastrophe.
Wow.
Would have been horrible.
Everyone's on roller skates. There's no running away from that.
No, dude. Like it
If
was
you were on roller skates, there's no.
Yeah.
You're
you're in dire shit.
yeah.
And like, dude, like we used to do some destructive shit, just
Yeah.
being fucking assholes. But like, we never thought of bringing a gun,
Bringing
Fuck,
weapons
What are you
in
doing?
there.
Now?
Yeah. Because like we were always like bringing in like weed and alcohol, but like throwing it over the like, dude, like it got to the point where like we're throwing a backpack over the fence before we go in, and we're like, yeah, the stash is out there, still you can go out. Like we would like let like someone out real quick, like go, and we close the door, and they come back in real quick to be like, it's all set for you to go.
Yeah.
We used to like, dude, it's so fun, dude.
Your fucking parents, they
So
drop
fun.
you off and they expect you to have like a night of like kid fun.
Yeah,
But
kid
little
interaction.
did they know that it was like a fucking you're dropping your kid off to like a war zone.
Yeah.
Like you don't know if
So,
you're gonna
like-
get smashed in the head
Yeah.
with a dodgeball
Yeah.
or a bottle
Oh, I forgot
or a
about
rock with a face on it. Dude, I fucking had this rock and I still have it somewhere to this day, probably in this house.
Really?
Yeah. I picked it up at one of my buddy's houses and I drew a fucking face on it with Sharpie. and we named it Dewey.
Dewey.
And we tried to fucking throw this thing, get rid of it, but it just kept coming back to us somehow. So I took it to the lock-in, and I fucking chucked it during the fucking dodgeball session.
Oh my god!
Because that's just how much of an asshole I was.
I was right there with you. My crew was doing shit like that too.
And the DJ playing the music was like, "No throwing rocks" or something like shit like that. And I was like, "Oh, I'll never see this thing again."
The shittiest DJ of all time.
Yeah,
Spinners.
He's fucking probably 25 years old, living with his parents, thinking he's gonna be somebody. He
knew like 12 songs.
Yeah.
You'd hear the same songs all night.
He's probably a creep. He's probably looking at all these teeny bopper girls like, yeah, oh, I'm gonna get with her. Like, you're fucking 25, dude.
When she falls asleep, I'm gonna hook up with her. Like, dude, she ain't going to sleep, bro. Sorry.
Nah, during movie time, she's gonna get some fingers slipped in her by some fucking weirdo from her high school. Yeah, and
it's gonna be the talk of the whole school next week. How she got fingered at the lock-in by fucking Joey.
You laugh though, but that happened.
Oh, it happened.
I know from firsthand experience because
firsthand.
Well, no, not me
specifically.
No. So I was dating this girl at the time, and for whatever reason, it was like her birthday weekend, and we went to Seabreeze and shit. We went to this fucking lock-in. First time I went there without any fucking group of people. Big mistake. Yeah. Big mistake. Mm-hmm. Well, I couldn't find her or whatever. I don't know what happened. We just kind of went our separate ways. And I'm like, okay. So then it was like towards the end of the night, and then come to find out, someone's like, yeah, your girlfriend was getting some digits. I'm like, oh really? Cool. Because guess what? After this, we're done. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna fucking sit. You're not take that shit. Like, yeah. But like, that was a mistake not going with your buddies, man. Yeah. You never did that because then shit like that happens.
You know what? I've done that before. Where like there's a girl from your school there that you like, she's cute. Yeah. And you try hanging out with her the whole time there that night, and you're like, why am I hanging out with you? Like, my buddies are over there shooting people with a marshmallow gun. I want to be over there.
I know.
Like, why am I like who? And then you like think about like the next day, you're like, they got all these crazy stories they're telling you about what happened here, over there, over there, and you're like,
I wasted my time.
And I didn't even get anything but blue balls.
Just blue balls.
What the fuck?
We used to trash the bathrooms in there.
Oh, yeah.
We used to fucking go in there. First thing I'd do is grab the fucking garbage can, and I just fucking take that thing and whip it over the stall. Like, that's my first introduction to that place.
That's your first move.
That's my first move. There was one time my buddy was taking a shit in the stall over here on the left-hand side, and I got in the middle stall, and I started ramming the shit. Now, at the time, I was, like, probably 150 pounds, so, you know, I wasn't, like... Yeah. Like, now I'd probably do some serious damage, but, like... Then I still collapsed the fucking thing, and he was in the stall. He had a bitch of a time getting out of it. And I'm like, dude, we were just destructive. Yeah. And those arcade machines, man, they got abused. Like the skee balls and shit.
If there's even a skee ball left in there. I remember rolling them onto the fucking rink.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, hopefully someone trips and falls. Yeah. It's like you're fucking like Adam Sandler and Big Daddy throwing the stick in front of the rollerblader. Yeah. You're just fucking winging a skee ball out there.
That place, like I said, your parents would go there and they'd drop you off, not realizing what horrible shit you're about to commit.
They don't realize what you just put in your backpack to go there with.
Yeah, no,
they're like, they don't know that
it's a pillow and a blanket, maybe a bedtime story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get a little bedtime story.
And then you get in there and you're like, all right, who's got the marbles? Who's got that? Like, who's got the marshmallow gun? Did you bring the marshmallows? All right, go meet up with him because he's got the gun. Like, we're like sniping people with dude, just crazy. And they're skating by, and we're like leaning over the thing, like we're just like nonchalant, you know. And they skate by. Someone, some pretty little girl gets, oh my god, what the fuck was that?
Yeah,
dude, just like the best times happen at Spinners, dude.
The best and the worst.
The best times.
The best and the worst.
Best and worst for sure. But
night I got kicked out.
When I think back, those were the days.
Yeah, they were the days.
Okay, so you got kicked out.
Got kicked out officially. Never went back again after this.
So were you banned, or you just chose not to go back?
Banned. That's how bad this was.
All right, let's hear it. So I can't wait to hear this.
End of the night, this girl, so we were fucking with the arcade machines in the middle of the night and shit. Like, I was taking the skee balls and just fucking throwing them at the fucking screens and shit. I was horrible as a kid. Yeah. Not as bad as some people were, but like...
No, I feel you.
I was destructive. You know, I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't control myself. So there was another one, like a little gun like the gun arcade machine where you could pick up the gun and like shoot zombies and shit. I think it was House of the Dead or some shit.
Yeah, something like
Took
that.
the gun, I was whipping that shit at the screen, and the fucking security there were like, they were like old fat bald men that were just like miserable. You know, they hated their life at home. They're like, and I always made the joke to my buddies. I'm like, that guy's a family. Think about that. He's got kids sleeping at home, depending on this motherfucker to like deal with people like us, like kids like us, because we're horrible people. He's got to make a paycheck to keep him alive.
Right.
But he has to deal with our shit to do it. Well, he comes over and he's like,
the worst kids ever.
Worst fucking people you could possibly just deal with in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying? Like a bunch of teenagers, 15 years old, fucking just destroying your shit.
Just being fucking kids, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're away from your parents. You're like around girls, around. so you're a show off.
Yeah, you're everything.
But you're like, this isn't my house. I'm gonna fuck this place up.
Fuck it up.
You're like, I hope somebody trips and falls and breaks their fucking tongue all over the floor. You know?
Yeah. So like, the guy comes over and is like, "How much do you think this machine costs?" I'm like, I did this in Beavis's voice too. I was like, $1,000.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, it's $3,000, and if you fucking break this shit, you're paid for it." So like, we're just fucking like, yeah, whatever. And then like, you know, there was this one girl who had a phone. It was like a cell phone. I don't know if it was like it had to have been a fold-up phone, like a flip phone,
or like a track phone or something.
Yeah, some fucking weird shit. But like
one of the old Nokias.
Yeah, something like that. Well, we took it, because she was like asleep or something, and we took it and we fucking hit it. Like, I don't even know how to explain this. It was like it was somewhere where nobody could get to. It was like in between this thing and the wall, and in order to get it, you'd have to like tear the whole thing out. So we knew she was never gonna get it back. Like, we're horrible people. Like, so the end of the night, they're like looking for this phone, and they're like coming to us and shit. And they're like, "Yeah, this girl's looking for her phone. Did you see it?" I'm like, no, we didn't see it. But we know where it went.
Yeah. I didn't see it, and you won't see it either.
Yeah, you will never see it. And I didn't even put it there personally. Somebody that was in the group did.
Yeah.
Are you gonna blow him in? No, I'm not gonna blow him in.
Yeah, of course.
So we were so bad that night. Like, that was the same night the stall structure got fucking destroyed from me, and then the fucking garbage can. That was a usual thing.
Yeah.
And then so like, we got like talked to plenty of times. I think the cell phone, they were pissed off at us because they already were talking to us a lot throughout the night for fucking trying to break their shit.
Yeah.
And so we're at, like the lobby area where you have to like wait in order to get in. You give them the money and all that shit. Like, they had all these like, they had all these fucking photos of like sports teams and shit, like in glass frames.
Yeah. With like the trophies and shit. Yeah. Yep. I remember that.
Well, that was where I got kicked out officially. Cause I started fucking kicking and punching the fucking pictures and breaking them off the wall.
Oh my!
I was out of control, and they're like, "That's it. You're never allowed back in here again." And I'm like, "That's fine. I've already had my fun. I broke your shit. I'm getting the fuck out." I already broke
all your shit. The next lock-in you have can't even go on because I fucked the whole place up.
It was pretty bad, and I'm like, "All right, that's enough of that." But that was my last time there, and then like, I always toyed with the idea of going back because they're not going to remember. I changed my look so much, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
They're not going to remember who the fuck you are.
And there's so many, like, unless they, like, took a picture of you. Like a mug shot and put your picture up like, this kid can't come in. Yeah. Then that's the only way that would have happened. There's so many kids going in there.
Yeah, and this is like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, the cameras back then were fucking garbage.
So did you ever experience, right? Like, you go there with your buddies in your group or whatever. Did you, like, see like another group of people from a school and you guys just kind of walk past each other like, like, we don't like those guys, so we're gonna like, I could feel something in the air when we walk by those guys. I feel like something might pop off later. I felt that a lot in there.
There was a lot of that going on,
and that's why like you had to be careful what girl you were trying to chase that night, because she was from a different school mostly. But she already had dated one of those kids, and then she sees him with you, and then he wants to fight you, and then your buddy's like, "Go ahead, try." It just like came into this big, like, I'm surprised there wasn't a full out brawl there at one time.
I think there was.
There probably was, but I can't remember one. But I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't think I was involved in a huge fight there.
No, I wasn't either. I never had any fights there, thankfully.
But that's probably how it ended. They're probably like, no more of this. Fuck that.
That's what I was going to ask is like, is there any more lock-ins like that around? I don't even hear this shit anymore.
I don't
unless you're at church.
I don't think so, man. And, You know what's crazy is the Geneva Roller Dome is for sale right now,
Is it really?
and it's really not that expensive.
Spinners number 2. I think you're gonna open it.
And I know, like, I was talking to my brother because we used to have our birthday, like, we like genuinely had our birthday party at the Geneva Roller Dome because it was basically spinners,
Yeah,
but in Geneva.
in Geneva, not
But it-
Macedon.
But it didn't have a skate park like, you know, that one did. It just had like a roller rink and games and a little food stand or whatever.
Yeah,
And we thought about, we're like, dude, we should buy that. And my brother is like a crazy skater. He's so good. Like, he still skates now. He's always posting reels and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, like, you could be like in charge of the skate park and I'd run the other part, whatever. And like, we like joking, you know, we joke about like, dude, we should buy it.
Yeah.
And I just think of like, now that we're having this conversation, like, we should buy that place somehow. It's a lot of money. So, but it's not like terrible, but like, it's in the 100,000s.
Yeah.
Buy that place and just like give kids like
the
that-
experience we got.
that lock-in experience.
Get in there. It's like
And
survival
we
of
should
the
have like a
fittest.
no phone policy.
Yeah, no, you can't have phones.
Like-
because you got people like me that are gonna fuck it up.
Yeah. Or like, or like, just because like kids will come in and be like, "Ooh, I'm in a lock-in," but they'll be on their
Yeah.
phone the whole time, like, "Ooh, look at this."
I'm so
guys."
glad we didn't live in that time.
You know what I mean? And I feel like if you had a lock-in, it'd just be a whole bunch of kids like, "Where
Sitting
can I
ar-
plug my phone in?
Sitting around on their phone, it would not
Where-
be like it was.
Where can I charge my phone?" It would just be that.
It
Or,
would- yeah.
You know, it'd be terrible. But see, that's why I'm saying no phones allowed.
Yeah.
You can come to the lock-in, but you have to give your phone away at the front or something, or just don't bring it in at all because I don't
Yeah.
want to be responsible for anybody's fucking
No,
phone.
fuck that.
Don't bring your phone in. Or there'd be like a thing where like maybe like if you need to call a parent, you can use, you know, like the house phone,
Yeah.
you know, that we have there or something like that. But I told him, like, dude, it'd be so fun, but you'd have to think about like kids are just gonna come in there and just be on their phones.
I didn't even think about that.
They're gonna make content. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, check out my Snapchat, I'm lit. Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
this song, but it's so
Stupid.
good." And,
So stupid.
dude, I don't even think kids know how to rollerblade anymore,
They don't do shit,
or
man.
like roller skate. I don't even think they would know. Like, it would be funny to watch like these 13, 14-year-old kids put on roller skates and try to move. Because I feel like everyone's so like unathletic now because they're just,
yeah.
you know,
They're feeble.
it would be funny to watch actually.
Dude, I didn't even think about that though. Like, think about, so that was 20 years ago,
Yeah.
right? 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
Those were the years I was going.
Pretty much 20 years ago. Fuck yeah. Dude,
And
that's
now,
crazy.
like, you're right. Like, if we had smartphones back then, we'd probably see it. Everybody's
Yeah.
sitting against the wall or at a table on their
Yeah.
phone
yeah.
doing this shit.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be breaking the bathrooms. They wouldn't be fucking stashing drugs in the lockers and trying to smash it open so they can get to the drugs.
Yeah.
Were you there for that night? Probably, huh?
I'm sure that happened a lot. I feel like that. But see, like, that's why we started putting the shit outside.
Yeah.
Like, we had like the back door unlocked and we'd throw it over the fence.
But like, yeah, the kids would be today. They wouldn't get into mischief. They wouldn't be breaking shit. They would just be on their phone.
It'd be the cleanest place ever.
I don't like that.
Me neither.
I want the chaos.
Me too.
I thrive on it.
I want like a bloody nose, or like I want some shit to happen. I want like a kid to be doing the like electric slide and he's cool out there like on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And he swings his elbow and he knocks out some pretty girl on her back and she's crying, and like shit like that has to happen.
Wouldn't
Not
happen
like-
anymore.
No, it
No.
wouldn't.
The dodgeball thing, that's probably not going to be tolerable. It's not tolerated anymore these days.
They would probably use ball pit balls because how soft everybody is.
No, they had legit balls. Like
Yeah, no,
dodgeballs.
oh yeah, you got a stinger from those.
I missed that.
You got a stinger from
Wasn't
those.
it like at 3 o'clock in the morning they did that? I think it was
Yeah.
like 3 in the morning. And like
3 o'clock in the morning, you're just playing dodgeball.
You
no
knew
big
what it
deal.
was. Yeah. You
Yeah.
knew what time it was. You're like, okay.
I forget like what the song they always played too. There was like a song like during dodgeball. Do
Yeah, they did
I
play that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played that like around dodgeball time. I
Yeah.
remember because like I just remember, dude, it was so sick because you
It's a
were.
fun time.
It was like cosmic dodgeball.
Yeah.
Like not cosmic bowling. It was cosmic,
Cosmic
dodgeball. We should bring that around.
God, I miss this shit,
Cosmic
man.
dodgeball.
Just thinking about this, I'm
That's a
like,
good idea.
it is. But everybody on their phones and fucking too afraid to get hit by one.
Dude, I'm so glad we're having this conversation right now.
You just opened up a whole bunch of like memories I'd forgotten about. For a
Yeah.
minute.
And it was just a dope spot. And if you're from the area and you're watching this and you have a Spinners memory, comment it, please.
Please do.
Because I will love to hear what we're not saying. But there's
so
a lot
much.
of things I don't even want to say that happened there. Not that it matters, but I see they got OJ like 40 years later, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to be that guy either.
Yeah, but we were under 18, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, some of us were. There was 19-year-olds there.
I remember there was like older kids.
It was so weird.
And they thought they were cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, like, and like they'd like hit on the girls, and you're like, dude, get away from her, dude. You're like, what are you doing?
Do you realize she's 14 and you're 19?
They got their car keys hanging out of their pocket, like they're cool.
What are you doing?
It's like, dude, we got dropped off here, bro. Like we don't even have a permit.
Right. Like, get the fuck
we're not
out.
even old enough to drive, and you're here like driving your own car. Like, oh, I'll give you a ride home.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like, what are you? That's some creepy shit.
Yeah, there wasn't many of them there, but there was the ones that you knew. Like, oh, those are the old kids.
You'd see like a kid with a tattoo.
Yeah, you're like, okay, that motherfucker's a predator.
He shouldn't be here.
Yeah,
why is he here? He's making this whole thing dumb. Like, why don't it's like if he falls asleep, he's done.
He's the guy you punch in the mouth when he falls asleep. You punch him right in the fucking mouth, break a tooth, something. You do something.
Bam.
You full force. If he's sleeping on the floor and his face is facing out, you just kick him right in the mouth. What are you doing here?
I would love that, dude.
Oh man.
I wish we could like, you know how like in Click, how he can like, Adam Sandler can like go through and like see parts of his life.
Yeah.
I want to just go to like
those areas.
I wish there was like a Spinners lock-in like episode channel that I could just go to.
I just
want to
show everybody.
Swipe through them and be like, oh, and just dude, that'd be like the greatest thing ever.
I know.
We'd probably see me and you together somewhere.
I'm wondering, dude, if you're there. Like, and I'm there.
Imagine like watching this, right? Like I was just saying, like a Click thing, and we were going through. We're like, there we are, dude. We met many years ago.
There's one kid that I remember specifically that always was there. He had glasses. His head was like half buzz cut, half long, and I would always see him there every single time.
I know who you're talking about. I think he was from Palmac.
I'm not surprised.
I think that's why he was there, because he lived in like right there. But I remember,
God, dude, this is bringing back so many
dude,
memories.
that's insane. There was this one kid there. There was this one kid there too that I didn't like.
There's a lot of those over there.
But like he was like always like coming up to us, and like it was almost like he was a cop.
He's one of those narcs.
He's like, hey man, what do you guys got?
Fucking
got
dork.
anything? But we'd see him do it to other people. Like, what are you, like the son of like someone that like owns this place,
right?
Or like works here, trying to bust people. And like we'd always fuck with them. We'd be like, nah, dude, those guys over there got whatever. And he'd be like, oh really? Like, all right, I'll go check them out. And he'd go over there, and we'd like watch him and shit. We're like, not trying to bust anybody, but we're just like making him feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, because we don't know these people.
Yeah.
So if he is asking them like a dumb question, we're like, haha, you fucking dweeb, get the fuck out of here.
And then you're like talking to your
dweeb
buddies.
is a good word too.
Yeah.
Dweeb is a Spinners word.
It is
You would have used the word dweeb at Spinners.
Yeah, nowadays you just call them sus.
Yeah, you just call them sus, or you call them dog water.
Yeah, whatever the fuck these kids are saying nowadays.
You're dog water. I'm playing Xbox like a week ago, and this kid in the chat is like, you're dog water. I'm like,
cool.
Nice.
Yeah. In 2009, you wouldn't have survived our chats.
No, you would not want.
You would
know.
crumple.
In 2009,
Modern Warfare 2 chats, like those fucking lobbies, were the most brutal,
the craziest,
racist, fucking excruciating things you would ever hear on a fucking game chat.
You would be like, how is this allowed still?
Right. You're like, dude, it's even at that time, you're like, it's 2008, 2009. You're like, how is this even allowed?
The world is like Kleenex soft, dude. Like, it's insane. Man, I love this shit, dude. Yeah. I am so glad we just unlocked Spinners memories.
I'm glad too. But you're right though. If we had smartphones back then, nobody would have gotten into the mischief.
No.
None of these stories. See, that's the problem. None of these stories would exist.
And if we did, they'd have proof.
And
because someone would have recorded it and like, oh, give us the film so we could check it out.
Right.
And then
fuck that.
It would have been like investigations.
Yeah, fuck that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no. We lived where like, see, it's funny because my parents always say, you know, like all the shit they got away with.
Yeah.
You were saying earlier, we're like the last of the people that, you know, and we're the last of the people that could get away with anything.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm glad I lived through that, because now I can see what we could have done, and now I know nowadays
You
could
can't
never
do it
that
anymore.
again.
Anything that we did back then, anything.
Yeah.
Like the security cameras that they had were all chintzy shit. Like you can't tell what's going on. There's a pixel there, a pixel here.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking knew.
They were probably fake anyways.
Probably. They
probably
were
didn't even
expensive.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably didn't even work. They're probably like, oh yeah, we got on the camera, just so you'd be like, okay, yeah, it was me.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to, you know, like one of those deals.
But like,
Well, who knows? Maybe they work. Maybe they just.
Yeah.
But it was dark in there a lot, and I don't think back then they had really good cameras that could actually fucking see in there.
it was dark. It was
They turned the
loud.
lights off. It was dark.
It was
Like,
very.
I'd even be like, yo, where'd Matt go? And I'm looking for Matt. I'm like, there he is. And I walk up like, yo, you're not Matt.
Nah.
I was like, dang, you like look like him though. Like they used to confuse the shit out of me.
Like you'd walk into this place, like the lobby was lit up, and then you'd walk in, it was like kind of dark inside, and it
Yeah.
smelled like candy and dirty shoes, and you're like, you
Yeah.
just thinking about it, and but every time you walked in there, you're like, you know what the night was going to be.
Yeah.
You know it was going to be. You're going to be up all night,
Yep.
fucking around.
You were just at school all day.
Yeah.
You've been up since 7 o'clock in the morning to go to school, and now it's 7 o'clock at night, and you're gonna be up all the way until the same time you went to school yesterday. Yeah. And you just get home and you're just fucked up. You eat it like you make some toaster waffles, you know, or a toaster strudel. Back when tricks were shaped like fruit,
Yeah.
you know.
It was like a hangover without the hangover.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, dude, it was the worst. Like, I remember Saturday being the worst day. You'd wake up at like 4 o'clock at night, and your parents are like, "Yeah, we're about to make dinner," and you're
Like, fuck
you're just
that.
like, well, you just get, dude, it was the worst.
I kind of miss it though.
I do
I
miss
kind
it.
of miss it.
I wish my kids could experience.
They're not
that.
going to.
And it
And that's
sucks.
what saddens me.
And I can only tell them about what happened, and they can believe me if they want, or they couldn't.
Yeah.
But I feel like when like my dad like ever told me some shit, like I believed him. You know, like it's kind
Yeah.
of one of those things where, like, yo, my dad was a badass when he was younger. If I like my kids know like some of the shit that I did, because I do like with my oldest son, I have like the craziest conversations because he's 15.
Yeah.
He's old enough to like hear some shit that I did. And he's like, what? He's like, that could have never happened now. I'm like,
Nah,
exactly.
not anymore.
That's why I'm telling you it. Because back then, we were driving around throwing M80s in people's mailboxes.
Oh man.
And
We were doing
just
so
driving
crazy. I know.
You could never do that with all the Ring cameras and all the fucking...
Well, I don't. It's kind of weird though, because like we talk about it on this show a lot, where like people here in New York State get away with a lot of shit, like the Kias and all that.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, you got to still be careful, man, because like, you know, and the kids nowadays, they're gonna look back at their childhood. Yeah, remember that one time we were at this one place and we were
Yeah.
on our phones, and you showed me that one Facebook post. It was so fun. Like that's
Yeah.
lame memories.
Yeah, that's
I-
what a memory is now. Is like, dude, you remember that one reel where that guy said, "These nuts"?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like that was the coolest thing. And like, I'm like, dude, remember when we depants that kid when he was roller skating at the
Right.
fucking lock-in and everyone saw D's nuts? Like that's the memories we created.
Now you get you have to be on the sex register. You have to be on the sexual offenders
get a-
registry because you did that. You depanced.
Now you get in big trouble.
Yeah.
You have to identify as like a bar of soap.
Yeah, yeah.
So you get out of trouble. Like, oh, I was just trying to wash that guy.
Yeah, I'm a bar of soap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He did like he needed a bath.
Yeah.
Like he was just roller skating. He needed a bath.
He needed a little shower. Yeah.
Yeah, I just needed, I just wanted a little Irish Spring on his thighs. That's all.
Damn, man. We really lived in the last Wild West of childhood.
That's a
in
good
teenage
way to put
years.
it. The Wild West.
It was a Wild West, dude.
Dude, that was so good, man.
Spinners.
I wish we could have found that shit with me and my buddies fucking just boxing in
boxing?
backyards. I'll find it. I'll send it to you at some point. Probably like later on tonight I'll find it because I think I posted it too at some point. Like, yo, you guys remember this shit? And people were like, whoa, that was cool. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But I'll bring that back somehow. I'll send it to you.
Like, yeah, like you look back at like all these different times you lived through, and you kind of want to recreate them to a degree, but you know they're not possible to be recreated.
Yeah.
Especially spinners.
Yeah.
I mean,
Spinners could never be recreated.
that was its own thing, man.
That was like, all right, like kids playing Fortnite now.
Yeah, yeah,
We were that was our Fortnite, was like spinners.
yeah.
Like, yo, dude, we're going to like, it'd be at school, like, you going to the lock-in tonight? You going to the lock-in? Yo, dude, beg your mom, dude, please tell her to
miss
let you come. You gotta like it was like the thing.
I would much rather, and I know this probably won't be the most popular like idea, but I would much rather my kid have a childhood where he grows up in that set.
Yeah.
Like he goes out and experiences things like that. You know, maybe he gets into a little mischief, not too bad where he's gonna get arrested or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he experiences these things. Like he sees this shit, engages with human interaction.
Yeah.
Then to have him just be stuck on a tablet playing Roblox with these people online all the time.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
It kind of it's depressing.
It is.
Like I'm trying so hard to like think about how we can dodge that so that way he can enjoy his childhood in a way that it should be enjoyed. Like
I agree.
You can take away the like I don't mind like if you have some technology time like we did.
Yeah.
You know, to a degree.
Yeah, but see, like our video games weren't spent
No.
like talking to somebody.
No. We played single player.
You would go home, play your game,
Splinter Cell.
and you'd see your buddy at school the next night, be like, "Dude, did you get past level 3 last night?
Right.
I finally got the golden whatever, and I got the key, and I got to the door." He's like, and you'd be like telling your buddy how to do it. He's like, "Dude, I can't figure it out," and you'd be like, "Dude, you got to go down." But like that was our video gaming, because we had to like talk in person about it, because we weren't online like in a party together. Like, "Oh yeah, man, if you go over there, oh it's right there. You see it? Yo, do you see me over here? I'm the guy shooting in the air." Like you can't do that. Like, we couldn't do that.
PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox, the first
GameCube.
one.
Yep.
Those were the
original Xbox.
consoles back in the day. And
Yep.
like that was like kind of like the starting point of online.
Yeah.
Like that was just the beginning because there was like little things you could do online.
Yeah.
But it's not where it is now.
Yeah.
It wasn't like when PS3 and Xbox 360 came out, that's when you got the online experience.
Yeah, that's when you were like, whoa.
2006 was
Yeah.
like the turning point of online gaming.
Like when
that's
like when Halo 3 came out.
Yeah.
That was like that was like the biggest game I remember of like all of high school.
yeah.
Like when Halo 3 came out and you could like be in custom games and you
Yeah.
could build shit together and forge and all that shit. That's when like I was like, wow. Like, and you thought that like this can't get any better.
Yeah.
And it has
Oh,
since.
yeah. It has.
But it's like then you're like, dude, there's no way they're gonna come up with something better than this.
And then they keep doing
And then
it.
and like now, you know, like even like the Nintendo Wii was a big thing.
Oh yeah, that
Like
was
you're actually like there's
moving.
like there's a sensor and it can see you, and whatever action you do, it comes up on the screen. You know what I mean? Even that was big. I remember when Wii came out, I was like, dude, this world is awesome.
I find myself playing single player stuff more though. I'm just old school in the
For sure.
sense like I
For sure.
love
For sure.
I don't know, man. It's just that's just the style I grew up with.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't mind playing online with people, but it's not the same for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's hard. It's hard to get people together at the same times to game,
That too.
because like I don't like playing a game that's like a multiplayer game alone.
Yeah.
And it like say like I play Rocket League a lot, and I'm actually really good at it. If anyone wants to 1v1 me on here, let's play Rocket League.
Let's fucking go. See ya.
But I always play 1v1s.
Yeah.
Because I'm like I'm by myself. I'm like, oh, all my buddies aren't on. I'll just I'll do like a 1v1 versus some other kid. I don't want to talk to him. He can't hear me. I can't hear him. I just want to play versus some other kid, just 1v1. But like when I'm playing like a multiplayer game, I'm like, okay, all the homies are on.
Yeah.
But see, it's funny when we're playing the game, we're not talking about the game.
No.
We're like talking about like some funny shit that
Yeah.
happened then or here, or like what just happened on the news or something. But we're still playing the game. We're not like, oh, he's over there, you gotta get him. Like I don't like when video games come to that. Like
No.
it's like just a chill thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I could talk to my buddies, we could all play the game and have a good time. And then when you mix in all the like, oh, I'm actually playing this like strategically, count me out, because I can't do that nowadays. I'm just not good at like I don't want to be good at a video game.
Not anymore.
Because
Yeah.
once I'm good at something, like I just want to do it all the time. And I'm good at Rocket League, but I've also played since it came out in 2014.
Yeah.
So it's been 10 years I've been playing it, and I still get on here and there. I'm like, I'll whip a Rocket game real quick, and I'll play, and I'm like, I'm still good. Still got it. I won a game. All right, let's go to YouTube now. It's not like I sit there for hours on end. Like,
Can't. It's just no way. Like when I play a game, like Fallout, for instance, I like get immersed with like my own journey.
Yeah.
Like I'm in my own little world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I like that whole.
Because you
aspect.
basically are.
You are, yeah. And like I don't have people trying to grief me by like blowing me up with like these weird like mods and shit. Like that's what GTA Online turned into, and I'm like,
yeah, that's true. Like once GTA got all the shit that you could do,
it's out of control.
It just wasn't fun anymore.
No, it ruins it.
Because you would like you would die and you'd spawn, and the same guy that just fucking blew you
did
up
it again.
is in the same spot blowing everyone else up. He's like, oh, there's another guy again.
Fuck that.
And it's like, dude, come on, man. Like I'm trying to run around the free world just like you are.
And people are like, well, why don't you play in a private server? It's like, well, then what the fuck is the point of playing online?
Right.
Why are you even in there?
Right.
Just play single player then.
Yeah. Go do the missions.
Right.
Put in the cheat codes. Use the jetpack on San Andreas, fly around.
That was fucking fun.
San Andreas was the best.
That's the best one.
Yeah.
So far.
That is the best one.
GTA 4 was cool. It was cool. Like the graphics overhaul, the engine.
Yeah.
You know, the different mechanics of it.
Yeah.
Very lacking in like terms of explorability. Like you couldn't just like go to a forest somewhere and see some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like GTA 5 kind of did that, but then it got like it's 10 years later now. We're actually 11 years in.
Yeah.
We're going on the 12th year. GTA 6 is not even out yet.
Yeah, the new one they said should be coming out in a little while, right? 2025 or 26.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes.
Me too.
I feel like
because I've always been a GTA guy. Like I used to love it, but not like you said when they changed the online shit and everyone's like got all these powers. Fuck that, dude.
It's too much. Saints Row fucked up.
Yeah, Saints Row was fun.
It was.
The first Saints Row was amazing.
The second one was my favorite one.
I liked the second one, but then when you got online, do you remember playing Saints Row 2 online on Xbox 360?
I had a PS3, so it's probably the same though. But like, I didn't play too much online on there. No.
Like the online just was like, okay, like you join a gang, but like they're not doing what you're doing. They're like going off doing their own shit.
Really?
And you're like, yo, like we have to do this right now. It's telling us to go meet this guy and go do, you know what I mean? Like there was like objectives and people like, oh, check out this car I'm in, or like just like some weird shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. Maybe was it Saints Row? I'm pretty sure it was Saints Row.
Saints Row 3, it was okay. It got a little bit overboard, but nothing crazy. I did like how they added zombies to it, kind of.
I don't think I played 3, to be honest.
It was all right.
I think I was Saints Row 1 and 2.
My major issue with, especially with that, was like they killed off Gat first thing in the fucking game. Killed him off. And like some of the other characters didn't even look the same from what the other games had. And then Saints Row 4 came along, and it was just kind of like out of control. I'm like, I can't get into that.
Yeah.
You know, you might as well just like.
I think after 2, I don't think I really played much of Saints Row.
You're not missing much.
But if you hand me a PlayStation 2 controller right now and I'm playing San Andreas,
I love San Andreas.
I could put the jetpack cheat in immediately and fly away. Instantly.
Yeah, instantly.
Because that was everything in that game. Like getting away from the cops, or if you're like, yo, I want to go to like this part of the map. Because they didn't have that thing where you could like click it and spawn there yet. You know, like on like 4, or like on 5, you can just be like, I want to go here, and it'll tell you how to get there, or you can just like spawn yourself there.
Yeah.
Back then, you're like, all right, get the jetpack, we're flying.
We're fucking
over there.
flying.
We're getting the fuck out of here, and you like hit tree, dude. It was so fun. Like the jetpack was sick because you could hover. Remember, you could hover and like shoot people below you
with the Uzis and shit.
Dude, it was just so sick.
CJ, like, his whole story is tragic when you think about it. Like he's doing all this weird shit in Liberty City while his whole like neighborhood and shit.
City, yep.
He's in Liberty City jacking cars while his fucking buddies in Los Santos are fucking dealing with ballas and shit. His mom gets shot, and then he has to come home to this fucking chaos. And
That's
then,
true, dude.
Like, think about how tragic it is. And that's another thing about
now that you're putting it in like that. It's like, wow.
As a kid, I enjoyed the game for its features, and I thought it was a good story.
Yeah.
But like as an adult, I'm looking back at it, I'm like, dude, that was a tragic story.
Yeah.
Granted, he did end up like achieving and accomplishing goals, but think about all the loss that Carl Johnson went through in order to get there.
Yeah.
He lost his mom, and then his friends, you know, Big Smoke, Ryder, they fucking turn on him. They're all fucking like just turning on him. and then
That's fucking true,
you
man.
kill them. He has to kill them. His old childhood friends, he's killing them because they turned on him, his family.
It's like a real hood story
It
that we
is-
never even
It's fucking
would have thought back then, and now we look, and now you put it in that point of view. It's like, wow, this should be like a. Why haven't there a Grand Theft Auto movie? Why isn't there like a CJ like Grand Theft Auto movie yet?
I don't think it would work.
You don't think?
I don't think so, and I'll tell you why.
Also, I feel like they've already probably made movies like that. Like I feel like every hood movie's like that. Think about it.
I just think that if they were to make a Grand Theft Auto movie, it would just be another movie. Like
Right.
you'd watch it and go, "This doesn't like make sense to be a Grand Theft Auto."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's
because it's too random.
yeah,
There's so much shit going on, and like in a world you could do anything you want as a civilian.
Grand Theft Auto. Exactly, Grand Theft Auto is known for like its open world sandbox.
Yep.
It wouldn't.
Sandbox.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't get that same
That's true.
thing out of a movie. So like, if they made a movie with that story and called it something else, I'm sure it'd be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, it's just like Scarface. They kind of used Vice City's theme as a Scarface knockoff,
That's true.
and you could see it.
Yeah.
But I do believe that San Andreas had one of the best stories.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the features of that game. You can go to the gym, you can work out, you can get fat, you can get skinny.
Yeah.
You can
You go get your
learn-
hair done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get your hair cut. You could.
When that
I used
whole
to
thing
like the
came out,
bike. I used to like the bike. I used to try to do like the longest like wheelie.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
you
Dude.
do stoppies and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Just do an endo for like 20 seconds.
When that whole customization thing came out, people were astounded. They're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
But then they got away with that or away from that in GTA 4. Like you only had like select outfits Nico could wear. You couldn't do his haircuts anymore. No beards. No,
Yeah.
you couldn't change his physique. And then GTA 5 came along, and then they added like the customization of the hair and the beards again.
Yeah. You could actually like make the guy what you want him to look like now again.
And then like Red Dead Redemption 2 came out.
That was a good one.
So what I want to
Red Dead
see,
was sick.
what I want to see from that is all the features in because it's already built.
Yeah.
They've already coded all the
They
features.
already have the interface for
it's
it.
there.
Yeah.
So take what you did with Red Dead 2
Yep.
and implement that into GTA 6. You don't have to do any more than that.
Yeah.
Upgrade the
That's true.
graphics,
That's true.
and you don't even need to do that much because Red Dead Redemption 2's graphics were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You can get lost in that world and just think, "Oh my god," you know.
Yeah.
But like people were like, "Oh, it's so in depth. It's kind of tedious." It's like, yeah, but we want that in the game. It makes sense to have that shit in the game. Like,
It's true.
I like to get immersed in the world.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just pushing a button and watching a cutscene, I'm like, okay, big
Yeah.
fucking deal.
Yeah.
But if it's like, you clean your horse and shit, like you scrub the horse, you're actually like
Yeah.
doing something to do that.
Yeah.
Keep those features in GTA 6. Keep them.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy that's like suing Rockstar for like creating his image in GTA 6?
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Joker
Yeah.
guy.
Good luck.
Is that so? This guy's just like a tattooed Joker, and what did they like? Like, did they like make a guy that was just like the Joker? And they like, what I want to know is, did this guy actually? Is he like a gangbanger Joker that they based him off of, or do they just make this character and he's like, oh, that looks like me, I'm suing him?
Could very well be.
Because I saw him go on Adam 22, No Jumper. Like, they actually interviewed him and he talked about it. But he didn't really say anything like convincing, like, that's like they copied me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, I think it'd be sick if there was a guy in the game that looked like the Joker that you had to like go against at some point. Like, he had a different gang or something. But like just a random guy walking on the street, like as a Joker, like
Yeah. Nobody cares.
you
about that guy.
can go to New York City and see every
See this-
superhero you want walking around.
Yeah. What are they gonna do? Sue them too?
Yeah, like that doesn't make sense to me.
Sue Marvel because they
Yeah.
did Superman and you have a cape on in New York City.
Yeah,
Like, get the fuck out of here.
like when you go to Manhattan, like you have all those guys dressed as Spider-Man. And,
Yeah.
and all those guys like like Bane and everybody, and they want to take pictures of you for $5. That's cool. I always do it when I go there because I just think it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, yo, take my $5. Like, here we
Right.
go, let's take a picture. But I don't think you could go through with suing Rockstar because they made a character that looks like the Joker. I don't know.
Good
To
luck.
me, whenever I see that pop up, I'm like, that guy's still trying to do this.
Does he not realize how much money they have?
Yeah.
And they can just buy they can afford the most ridiculous, batshit crazy lawyer that's going to win them the case no matter what.
Yeah. Or they could just pay to have the whole thing ignored and thrown out.
Right.
Like, you really think you're going to, just because you have Joker tattoos, like, you think you're the only person in the world that, like, wants to be the Joker, like, idolizes a Joker type character.
Is DC and Warner Bros. Are they gonna sue Rockstar?
Right.
No.
Right.
Because why would they?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So who the fuck is this guy? Who's you know what I mean?
I forget his name. Joker, whatever. It's like some area code after his name, I think. But like Joker 617 or some stupid like that. But
he's not gonna win that.
I always see him trying to. Oh yeah, I'm still pushing. I got lawyers involved and
sure.
And it's like, dude,
nobody cares.
Like.
You're not gonna win.
I don't know.
Just give up.
It's just dumb.
It is dumb.
I fucking love video games though. Like as a kid, like the GameCube was one of my favorites. I used to love GameCube.
Had some fun games.
Yeah.
Had some fun games.
I loved GameCube. And it was like, now that I think about it, GameCube was like the easiest system to like hook up.
Yeah.
And it was the most compact. You could like bring it anywhere, fit it in a backpack.
It had a handle on it.
Yeah, it had a handle on it. You're right. It had a handle on it. It was just like ahead of its time. We didn't realize that we were packing up this little cube and going over to our friend's house with 4 controllers to play like GoldenEye 007 or like Mario Party and shit like that.
I miss playing multiplayer games like in person.
Yeah.
Like not even online.
Yeah, like split screen.
Yeah.
I love that, dude.
4 fucking players at a time.
Like GoldenEye, dude, was the shit.
You'd go to your buddy's house, like get some fucking like Mountain Dew, some Doritos.
Hell yeah.
Have a pizza.
3D Doritos at that.
Yeah, dude. Fucking all those times are gone.
Yeah.
And you just think about that shit and you're like, these poor kids have no fucking clue what they're missing out on.
Yeah.
They think being locked in on their phone on TikTok is fun, dude. They have no fucking clue.
They have no idea, dude.
I want to relive those memories, dude. There was like, and this core memory was like a little bit after smartphones became a thing.
Yeah.
So like back in 2010, a couple of buddies and I would just like go to this kid's house, and he was a little bit older than us by like maybe a few years, but like we'd go to his house and we'd have like 3 different TVs with like different systems, and we'd have like 3 different games going on, and we'd have Fight Night on this one. We'd be placing like little bets and shit on this.
Yeah.
And like we'd have Saints Row on this, or Red Dead Redemption 2 on this one, and like another one had another. It's like that. Those are the memories I want to fucking like remember.
Yeah.
Not like, oh look, man, I made this TikTok dance 20 years ago, and I made myself look so stupid.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Dude, we're like living in like neo-Nazi technology world.
It's crazy, right?
I hope that doesn't affect what I just said. But for like the sake of your stuff, I hope it doesn't do anything. But
oh, dude, I don't care.
But it's true though. Like,
but you're speaking the truth though.
Like we live in such a controlled environment where like shit's allowed and shit's not, or it's allowed now, but it's not allowed. It's just like dumb. They bring rules and then they like the whole thing with like going to jail. Like you get arrested, you get right out.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
It's kind of like that, but like with the world, like
the bail reform.
Yeah, like like you can like this today, but then like a week from like today is like, oh, you can't act like that anymore, or else it's this kind of charge.
Yeah,
it's like the world we live in is so. It's the C word. I don't want to say it because I don't want anything to
see you
happen.
next Tuesday.
Yeah.
A cunt.
Well, it says see you next Tuesday, but it's like the C word, like the red C word, the communist word.
Oh, I don't
like
care about that.
We live in a communist like world where like
we do. It's a weird world.
It's like they take power from us, they give it back, but now it's allowed and then it's not. But then you have to identify as this for it to be okay. It's like what's a lot like? I don't get the whole like all the genders and stuff. Like I get it. Like be whatever you want, right?
Oh yeah, as a grown adult, do whatever you got to do.
Be whatever you want.
Respect that shit.
But like you don't need to make it a people problem. You know, like you don't have to be like, oh, like dude, like I'm not gonna lie. I went through a Taco Bell drive-through, and I was talking to what I thought was a girl,
Yeah.
And like, I'm a respectful guy. Like, I
Right.
kind of talk nice. I'm like, she's like, oh, do you want this? You want this? I'm like, no, ma'am. Like, I'm like, like I'm talking like that.
Yeah.
I get to the window. It's a dude. And he's just giving me this look like, like, fuck you. Like, you thought I was like, oh,
Dude.
well, okay, now that I see you,
Right.
like, isn't that your whole thing? Like, wouldn't that make you happier? I was calling you ma'am.
So
if that's what you're going for.
here's my thing, and I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. Teach me in a respectful way how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
How you want to be identified, or you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. It's
do
like,
not be condescending
mhm.
and a prick or a cunt to me. Don't treat me like a fucking piece of shit because I don't know any better.
Right.
You want somebody to understand who you are more and try to like have them understand your side and what your beliefs are. Don't act like you're a condescending little cunt. All I'm asking you to do is be civil with me. Be a human being.
Right.
And that's the problem with social media. You see it a lot. Is like you'll go on there and you'll give your idea and somebody's just gonna be a fucking bitch to you. They're gonna fucking be condescending. Oh, you're a fucking. Then they fucking point the finger. They do the name calling. Like last week's episode, we talked about the whole thing with the election and all that shit. And I've had people fucking unfriend me. I don't really care. Were they friends anyways?
Same.
They're not friends.
Yeah.
And I don't really care.
If you're offended by like just that, then you're right. We shouldn't be friends.
Well, that's the thing, dude. Like, I'm not afraid to fucking talk about shit. I'm not
Yeah.
afraid to speak my mind.
Same.
And to be honest with you, like, as somebody in the middle, I have ideas from both right and left. I don't like the two-party system. I think it's a complete fucking asshole
Yeah.
shit show.
Yeah.
Like,
doesn't make
it
sense.
causes more divide than it does anything else.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And especially with the way our fucking political climate is these days, it's a complete fucking mess.
Yeah.
But like politics aside, let's talk about human beings being human beings.
Right.
Social media has made it so easy for everyone to dehumanize the person that are opposing their ideas and their opinions. You go on X, you comment on somebody saying, "Well, this is my point of view," and then they fucking attack you, call you a
Yeah.
Nazi or a racist or whatever the fucking
Yeah.
the hip words are these days, like the
Yeah.
talking points. Stop that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking have a conversation,
Right.
like we do on these podcasts.
Right.
Have a civil conversation. Talk about, okay, this is my point of view. Let's learn about yours. Listen.
Yeah.
Talk about your point of view. Listen. Instead of people listening, they're like, "Fuck you," and they fucking go on this
Yeah.
tent. It's like, don't be a condescending prick.
And then they like explain, like, yeah, they'll be like, "Fuck you, you're a piece of shit." Like, okay, that has nothing to do with what I was talking about, though. That's
Right.
how I know this will never go anywhere.
So, like, when you go to that drive-through and you are like, "Oh shit, my bad, I didn't know,"
Right.
but they're giving you this fucking attitude. How are you supposed to sit there now and feel bad about it when they're giving you a reason to be fucking pissed off at them?
Right.
Because now they're being an asshole and kind of condescending. Like,
Yeah. It's like passive aggressive.
yeah,
shit.
I don't like that shit.
Yeah,
Don't
it's like-
fucking treat me that way.
It's like, bro, I know a girl and a guy. Anything else other than that, if that's what you are, that's what you want to be, that's cool, right? But like, when I came to the drive-through, you sounded like a girl. I come to the window, you're a guy.
Yeah.
You're mad that I called you ma'am? Isn't that like that's what you're going for, though, right? Like, isn't that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
So why is there like this like animosity in the atmosphere right now?
Because the way things are, they think you're doing it with intent.
Yeah,
I do believe there's a belief that you're doing it to on purpose,
for sure.
which is not the case though. If you don't
sure.
know, you don't. What you don't know, you don't
right,
know.
Right. Like, you can't see. Like, I
Right.
can't physically see you. And I get to the window and I'm like, oh, whoops.
Right. So like, and I've had this when I was younger as a teenager, before this even stuff was a fucking thing.
Yeah.
I had long hair, so like if you turn your back, you wouldn't know. And I've always had, mist or some bullshit, and then I turn around and they're like, "Oh, okay, you're a dude."
Yeah.
Didn't bother me, like whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even make a comment or even think a thing of it. Whatever. I
Yeah.
had long hair. I could understand that.
Yeah.
But like, when people,
If I saw you from behind with your hair the way you are, I would just know you were a dude anyways. You're like a brolic fucking dude.
oh, now I am.
Right.
Right now I am.
But I'm saying, like, right now, like, if someone's walking the store, like, is that a chick? I'd be like, that's a dude.
Yeah. Like right now, as a 220-pound man, yeah, you would understand.
I was gonna say,
but I was like 150 pounds back then. You
Yeah.
probably wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So like, but it's just not even the fact that, you know, somebody made a mistake. It's the fact that the person that is on the opposite end is treating the other person like a piece of garbage.
Right.
And if that person didn't have the ill will or the ill intent of saying the wrong thing or whatever, they're not trying to hurt you. They don't know.
Right.
And now you're turning around saying, exactly. And then when you turn around and say, what the fuck, man? Like, now you're coming off as a piece of shit.
It's like you're like looking for that interaction.
Exactly.
They're like looking for the separation. And it's like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for Taco Bell.
Here for Taco Bell. I don't care what the fuck you do at home. I don't care if you have a dick or a cunt in between your legs. I don't care. Give me a fucking burrito.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And load that fucker up too. Like, give me the best burrito ever. Like, it's just like that. Like, annoyed me because I was like by myself and I was just going home.
Yeah.
Right. So I was just driving home thinking about it. I'm like, what a fucking douchebag.
But you're
like,
not.
I was like, so like, what the. And then I'm thinking, great, I should probably look inside all my food and make sure there's no, you know what I mean, spit or something. Like, that was my first thought. I'm like, oh, great.
But that's the unfortunate side effect of the world we live in.
Yeah.
Like, I would much rather be told, okay, this is my point of view. This is why I am who I am, what I do and what I choose to do. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when you sit there and make me angry because you treat me like garbage, like you treat me like a dumb fuck.
Yeah.
With your condescending comments, how am I supposed to even be enticed to understand your side?
Yeah.
If you are going to treat me like the fucking shit on the ground from a dog, don't do that. Like, just be a fucking human being.
You know, that's the only interaction I've had like that with like the nowadays like shit, whatever.
Yeah.
It's the only interaction I've ever had like that. And like, it kind of made me feel, like I said, that whole drive home, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why the fuck? Like, it was annoying because it's like, dude, I'm just here to get my food and you're just here to work.
Yeah.
Let's keep it at that. Isn't that what we're doing here?
Right.
You're working, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
You're not there to...
We're not here to be like,
no,
you know, like spread socialism and stuff, or to like, you know, to like be like, oh, like I may look like a girl, but I have a dick. That's great. That's cool. Like, if I had those cheekbones that you had too, I would definitely dress like whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, I didn't do any, like, I just drove home. I'm like, I didn't fucking do anything wrong. And this kid was like, he didn't even like look at me. Like, he looked at me super fucked up. And then he like put his hand out for my card. I gave him my card. He ran it. He didn't even like look at me again. Like, grabbed the drink. Grabbed my bag, didn't say anything, closed the window, and I just drove away. And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool, like whatever." But it just like bothered me because I'm like, dude, like if you actually knew who I was as a person,
right?
You'd be like, because I'm friends with everybody. Yeah. I have some gay friends. I'm friends with everybody. Like, I don't like, oh, like I can't be seen with him because he's gay and people will think I'm gay.
Right? Fuck that.
I've never thought that way in my entire life.
But they're trying to make you feel like that you are on that side,
right?
Which is not true at all.
Yeah,
and that's what I don't like.
Yeah,
don't fucking like. You don't want me to judge you, right?
Yeah,
don't judge me.
Right.
Don't do that.
And there's been like a situation or two of guys I grew up with. 20 years later, they're gay.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, dude, I don't hang out with him anymore. Do you know he's gay?" I'm like, I didn't know he was gay. Now I do. I'm like, I wish he could have told me that.
Right. Like,
instead of like hearing it from like you that's like disgusted about it. But like, even if he told me that, I'd be like, cool. So like, how many dicks have you sucked this week?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
It doesn't matter. Right? They're the same person.
Yeah. Like, it don't matter to me because at the same time, like, bro, you're still the same person that I've known my whole life. Yeah. And like, no matter what you prefer and what you don't prefer, that has nothing to do with me.
Oh,
because at the end of the day, I'm going to my house where we pound out vag, and you're going to your house where you're like cocking your mouth. That's cool.
Yeah, big deal.
Like,
nobody cares.
Whatever happens behind your door, that's what happens behind your door. When we come together, it still doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that just really bothered me, dude.
It does bother you.
I haven't had that. Like, you always hear about it or see
Yeah.
a reel of someone flipping out on camera and about that shit. I've never actually had that. And this was like recently, about, I'll say like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like very
Pretty recent then.
Like very recent. And it's still on my mind. I'm like, dude, I'm glad I didn't go farther than it went.
Yeah.
Or this guy wasn't like a whatever. I didn't get sick from the food or anything, so whatever. But, you know, I don't know. It's just dumb how there's just agendas that are pushed, and it's not fair to people that don't live in that agenda.
It's tribalism. It's tribalism because at the end of the day, regardless, even if you didn't do that and you even gave somebody a certain look or whatever, they would basically like, you hear it all the time, like on both sides. There's always like the pack mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like right now, with the way the things were with the election and all that, like there's a lot of things that people are spouting.
Right.
And people are parroting it, and it's just like you're sparking hatred even more by doing this shit. And it's the same people that have the signs out on their fucking front lawns that say, in this house we believe love is love and inclusion and tolerance, yet they're on Facebook or X telling somebody they should go kill themselves in their mother's basement because they don't agree with their opinions.
Right. That's
And
a
it's
fact.
like, what the fuck, man? You're spreading the same shit you claim to hate. Why the fuck are you doing this? But like, back in the day, people would fucking identify themselves based off of who they really were deep down inside.
Yeah.
And now people are like identifying themselves based off of like sexual orientation or political like stances and shit. Like, it's fucking wild to me, man.
Like, like when you meet someone, they're like, oh, I'm on the left side. You're like, cool. So like you're left-handed?
Right.
Like, what
what's
does
that
that
mean?
To me, like, that's what you're saying, because I don't fuck with any of that shit.
Nah.
So when you say that type of shit to me, like, I'm gonna make it a joke because you think like introducing yourself to me like that like feels powerful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you feel like a dumbass, be like, oh, so you're left-handed? That's cool.
Yeah.
No. Like, I'm left-sided. Oh, okay. So like your left testicle hangs lower than your right. Like,
Yeah, I know.
what the fuck? Mine too.
Right.
No shit. But I don't think I'm either. I don't know. It's just fucked up shit, dude.
It is fucked up shit, man.
And it sucks that like our kids are gonna have to grow up in like this era.
It is a weird,
And it's cool that I could talk to you about this because you also have a son.
Yeah.
So you're also like concerned about the future.
It's concerning.
You know, like me and Bogart don't really have a lot of conversations about like
Kids.
future for kids because he doesn't have any kids.
Right.
But he understands. But like,
Yeah, he does, yeah.
But like having this conversation with you, it hits a little harder because we both are like raising the future right now.
Yeah.
And it's like it just sucks all around for what they have to go through, what they kind of can't do, and how they have to act in certain situations to avoid certain situations.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always about respect, man. Like, unless you give me a reason not to respect you, I'm going to respect you.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
And like in that situation there, that would be a very disrespectful thing to me. Like, you're gonna treat me like shit because of a mistake that I unknowingly did,
Right.
Made or whatever. And
Right.
so like I'm gonna look at you like, okay, well, I see how you are then.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's what I think we should be teaching our kids is the aspect of respect. Like, whoever you run into and meet, you always have that same level of respect.
Yeah.
Unless they give you a reason otherwise.
Right.
Because, like, you always hear, like, treat people how you want to be treated. Well, of course.
Right.
But if they're going to treat you like shit, why would you keep doing that?
Yeah.
You think it's going to change? You think it's going to make them respect you more?
Yeah.
They're going to keep treating you like garbage.
Right.
They're going to take advantage of you.
That's when I turn into the asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I don't ever want to be the asshole. I want to be like the medium guy, just like, man, we could all just get along, Well,
I told my wife this morning, we got in the conversation about something, and I said, I can be a big prick if I wanted to be.
Right.
I go, some people think that, but I go, the only reason why that is because they warranted it.
Yeah.
If you don't warrant it, I'm going to treat you with all the respect and kindness that I can possibly give you because that's just who I am as a person.
Right.
I don't like being an asshole.
Yeah.
But if I do get on that
Facts.
level, I will fucking straight up master that shit because I don't have a fucking problem doing so as so long as you fucking disrespect me the way you did.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be that way, but if you want to have that happen, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
But look, again, at the end of the day, man, that's not where I want to see things, you know. And I always see it online.
Yeah.
People dehumanizing others because it's not a real human interaction. You're looking at text on a screen.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a fucking profile picture. Big fucking deal. A lot of people on there are shit posting. Like, I'm a shit poster, but at least I fucking come out and put myself on there as who I am.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people, like...
You're not afraid to stand on what you're saying.
No. There's a lot of people out there with dog profile pictures that you don't even know who the fuck they are. And they're just shit posting, talking shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's meet in person to see how fucking funny it is then.
Yeah.
Because a lot of... That's what I'm saying. A lot of people have been given this weird grace where they can just talk shit to you without worrying about getting blasted in the throat.
Yeah.
Until that day comes, they're going to keep doing it. And one day when they meet the wrong fucking person on the fucking street and try to do that same shit in person, they're going to get asses kicked majorly. I mean, I'm talking like if they meet some guy that looks like the Hulk and they start talking shit, boy, oh boy, I want to watch that fucking thing go down.
Seriously.
Because I want to see that person get the exact thing they deserve.
And that's what happens too. And then they get punched in the face and now they want a lawsuit.
Everyone wants a lawsuit.
So you've been talking shit for the past 6 years online. You finally meet someone outside of the shit and now you get punched in the face and now you want to sue somebody. Fuck you.
It's just fucking pussy
stupid,
shit.
bro. That's the thing. It's like they're pushing. It's like, I don't, like we said earlier, I don't care what you are, what you identify as is cool, whatever. But when you make it uncomfortable, like, educate me first.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, make me understand why it's you think it's okay to treat me like that because I didn't know. I didn't know.
Right.
So it's not okay for you to treat me like that, especially in a drive-through situation. That's fucking like the worst situation that could happen when you think about it. You can't see anybody.
No.
You're looking at a delicious fucking menu. Yeah. The only thing on your mind is food. You hear a girl, you're like, thanks, ma'am. No, ma'am. And you get to the window, it's a guy. Like, that's so unfair.
Well, yeah, and it's
that's
like
so unfair, dude.
I'm so used to like saying, yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, man, I'll have that. Like,
yeah.
And then you're like, you get to the window and you're like, oh, wait, fuck.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
But why should I feel like an asshole if I unknowingly was talking to somebody that, you know, is going through a transition?
Right. You don't, like, that's what I'm saying. Educate me.
Yeah.
Like,
don't be condescending.
Like, if that's the case, then put a fucking sticker of you on the menu too, and be like, you're talking to transitional whatever. Yeah. But they won't ever do that because that's, oh, now we're profiling. But if you don't want interactions like that to happen, then something's got to be done. You can't, or just don't hire people for customer service. They're going to act like that to other people. I think
those reactions are ubiquitous within our society.
Yeah.
As we are living today.
Yeah.
Because I really do believe they have this weird mindset where you're doing it on purpose, even though you're not.
Yeah.
You don't know any better.
Yeah.
But in their mind, they're like, oh, they're fucking doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't think like that.
Right.
Nobody should think like.
That's the thing. We're automatically a target.
Yeah, but that's like.
We think we're targeting them. We're not.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
People don't know what they don't know.
We don't know. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't know. That's like that's the best way to sum up the whole thing. We don't know what we don't know.
And like
you just said it.
And like people will be like, "Oh, they're just hateful. That's why they treated you like that." Like,
yeah.
If I say, "Thanks, man," you know, and I find out that it's not a man,
yeah,
and I didn't do it. I mean, you're not going to do it with intent, and then they turn around and say you're just being hateful. Like, no, that's not how this is.
Yeah,
that's what bothers me. And it's the same shit like with this whole election where people are online saying, fuck you if you didn't vote for my side. Fuck you if you didn't vote. Fuck you if you vote for third party. And fuck you for voting Trump.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying fuck everyone that doesn't agree with your side.
With every piece agree with you. That's
what I'm saying. Like, but where's the inclusion?
Yeah.
Where is the acceptance, the tolerance
yeah.
for people with differing opinions and belief systems?
Yeah.
You just want everyone to spout and believe in the same things you believe in, which I don't agree with anybody that thinks that way. I don't care if you're on the right, the left, wherever, man. I don't expect anybody to believe every single thing that I believe in. Like,
right.
I'll talk to people and say, Me personally, I think prostitution should be legalized. And they'll look at me and be like, you're a fucking liberal. I'm like, no, I'm somebody in the middle who has a reasonable and rational way of thinking.
Right.
I think that both sides have great ideas, but the problem is in the world that we live in today, you have to be one side in an extreme manner or the other in an extreme manner. And I don't believe in that shit.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that we've come to a point in life, in our life, where if you have one belief, you have to believe everything on that side, or if you have another belief, you have to believe everything on that side. Which to me, that's insane.
It's a sickness. It's literally like
It
a
is a
sickness.
disease.
It's like, dude, like, okay, not gonna lie, I feel like this whole podcast we've done, there's not one thing where I've been like, I don't like his version of that.
Yeah.
Let me tell him mine.
Right.
We're pretty much on the same page. This is a great podcast. But like sometimes on a podcast, I want to be like, with Bogart, I mean, we're pretty much on the same page with a lot of shit too. But like, I haven't really had a podcast either where I could like have like a feud or not
A debate.
not even a feud, like a debate, and not like get angry at each other, but really like, okay, I'm going to tell you my version, and so you can understand mine, but I want to hear yours too, and let's meet in the middle somewhere and just agree on some things. We don't have to hate each other and walk away mad and be like, I'm not coming to the podcast because he's there.
That's ridiculous.
Like I don't want that to happen. It's like
It's childish.
we can agree to, because we're adults.
Yeah.
Right. We're adults. We can agree like, okay, that's cool that you think like that, but I believe in some of blah, 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 like what you were saying, but I also think that this would have been a fact. You know what I mean? Like you can agree to disagree, and people don't do that nowadays. It's like as soon as someone, like you said, if someone doesn't believe in one little molecule of something that you don't believe in out of a whole list of things that they're pushing, but it's like, I don't like that guy. He doesn't believe in that.
Yeah. Would you agree that? So I've noticed this too, and I think it's probably a reality, because the other, like the stuff you see online and social media, they will have you believe that everyone is against, like everyone's on the far left and the far right. But a lot of people that I've come across and have had on the show seemingly all sit in the same spot in the center, kind of looking outwards like this is all crazy.
Yeah.
Like, would you agree that a lot of people are in the center rather than on one side or the other?
I believe so. See, I feel like if someone's going the other direction, they're looking for like they're just upset with themselves.
Yeah.
And they're like looking for a reason to be an asshole, or they're like looking to stir some shit where shit didn't need to be stirred.
Yeah.
And me, like, I have a different outlook. So like I've done a lot of drugs in my life, like shrooms and like hallucinogenics. So like I feel like that kind of opened up a lot of things in me. Like I'm kind of like, I get along with a lot of different type of people.
Yeah.
And I can agree to disagree and not be mad at people. And I feel like ever since I started like taking shrooms like regularly, I've been more like okay with like just people
In general.
Yeah, because people are hard to deal with.
They can be.
Like, and I feel like ever since I've been just like, so you were talking about you take like the cold showers and stuff and it helps your depression out, things like that, right? For me, it's like, I like to just take a shroom here and there, it cures my depression.
Yeah.
That's it. And I like ever since I've been on that path, I've been like more woke and more accepting of people because life's hard.
Yeah.
This world sucks. We're born into it. We got to deal what we got to deal with. And why would we deal with more than we have to?
It's true.
And people just like to make it harder.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
I gotta be honest, man. The one camera that goes to my side just died. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You want to swap out so we can end the show?
We can end the show, man. That's fine. But we had a great fucking time. It's been a little over 3 hours. So,
if you want, turn that one towards you so you can. Here, I'll move this one a little bit.
oh, you're good, man. You're good. Let's.
sure?
Yeah, we can close out, man.
I
Let's-
actually don't want.
Nah, but we had a good fucking conversation, man. So.
So I guess I'm ending the M. No, just kidding. But I guess you see me, but you're listening to M-Balm.
It's fine, man. I'm good with it. So.
What if I try to like mouth what you were saying? because your camera's dead and they thought that I was saying it, but it was your voice.
Yeah. When it would drive me nuts.
That'd be insane. It'd be hard.
It would be.
But anyways.
Dude, we had some good conversations.
I loved it.
We're definitely going to have some more of this, man. I love it.
For sure, man. I'm just happy that we met and we're on this journey together, man.
100%, man.
For real. Like, I've like literally, like I said, right off the rip when I got on here, I'm like, it's like a blessing to be here, you know? And it's like accepting, you know, like I'm glad that like, you're like, hey, like you want to come on because like you're in the podcast world. And it's cool that I built, you know, because like I said, I've been in the space for not too long. And it's cool that I have people like you who have been in it for a good amount of time inviting me to yours. So
yeah,
it's just dope shit, man. I can't wait to see what the future holds for all this, you know?
Hell yeah, man. We're going to keep doing this, pounding it out, and we're going to keep having those deep conversations, having a good time. You know, I like to make funnies, but I think tonight was more so diving into the memories and also the real world shit.
Yeah.
I like having different topics and conversations like that.
You know, like when I was coming on here too, like I know you're a funny guy just from the first podcast we did, like when you and Dash were there, it was like one of the best like episodes I've ever shot, I think. And when I was coming over here tonight, I'm like, we're going to have a good time because I think we both have a really good sense of humor. And I think we both are like, we got like dad jokes, but we also are like dark too.
Yeah.
And I think on both of our shows, I think we both play that part.
Yeah.
So I knew this was going to be fun. And it didn't even go what I had expected. It kind of went like we got deep and we like.
Sometimes that happens.
Like we made a bond, I feel like right
we
now.
Did.
You know what I mean? Like we're like I feel like this is, it's just cool, man.
But that's what I like about it. Like sometimes you might have this idea that you're going to be in this situation where you're talking about something and you're like, oh, we're going to crack up all kinds of jokes.
Yeah.
But then we start twisting and turning things to a different level.
Yeah.
And that's the one part about, like we were talking before, like how some podcasts script their shit. I don't like scripting it.
No,
Let's just let it flow.
Yeah.
Let's have a genuine conversation. Let's just see where it goes and let's see where it ends. And that's what we did tonight, man.
It's great.
I agree. And I fucking enjoy talking with you, man.
To all your viewers, I know the camera's on me because his died, but to all the viewers that are watching this, man, thank you for, you know, checking me out on the M-Balm podcast. I'm blessed that he invited me up here. If it's your first time meeting me, you don't know of me yet, go check out my podcast, School of Martians, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, pretty much everything he's on. I'm on there too. Yeah. Like I said, I'm just blessed to be here, man. It's cool. I feel like we've created a friendship and
hell yeah.
I feel like we got some ideas for the future.
Oh, we have more ideas coming. We have some more
ready,
times.
dude.
More memories we're going to be making, man.
We're going to be making spinner memories soon.
Yes, we will.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming out with me, man.
Dude, thanks for inviting me, bro.
Absolutely.
I can't say it enough. It's a blessing. Like, I know I've said that like 4 times in the past 30 seconds, but it really is to me because the journey that I've just jumped into. And I feel like I'm chilling with the big dog right now. You know what I mean?
Well, so I appreciate it, man.
I'm cool.
I'm very humble with this thing, man. I mean, I know I have some years of experience, but I still see myself as somebody who's going to be continuously growing. I'm still just starting.
Yeah.
In my own mind.
Dude, it's, you know, that's like me with music. Like every time like I get in the studio, I'm like, I've literally been making music since I was like, I wrote my first song at 12 and I'm 34 and I haven't gone anywhere with music, but I just feel like every time I get in there, I'm like, it's new.
Yeah.
Like every time I get in there, I'm like, man, I've been doing this a long time, but I don't feel like I'm better than anybody.
Exactly.
You know, like I just feel like this is what I do.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's like a normal thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited to be up here, man. I've been waiting for this all week.
Me too, man.
A good Saturday well spent. For sure.
It was going to look different. We were supposed to have more people in here, but I think sometimes things happen for a reason. I think this one-on-one needed to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll have another one eventually down the road.
I'm sure. 100%.
But dude, I appreciate you coming on and,
anytime you want me back,
let's fucking do it.
Just give me a heads up. I'll figure out my end of things and get it all together and we'll do it.
Hell yeah. And for everybody out there that's brand new to listening, thank you for listening. If you're a loyal listener, check out Justin Nominee on his podcast and the BOGART podcast. Those guys are great. Give them a listen. Go give them a subscribe, share, follow, and like that shit.
Appreciate you.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate you. To everybody else, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. This is the M-Balm Effect. This is Justin Nominee. Bye.
Well,
There goes the neighborhood. It's a good thing no one got seriously hurt.
Oh my God!
Whoops, spoke too soon. Don't get too wrecked. See you on the next one.
The M-Balm Effect.